My bad. First of all, everybody share the link.
Yeah,
We want everybody to get their friends in here for this. Okay? Because I feel like there will be some controversy.
for
And
sure.
I really feel like not everybody gonna love what I gotta say.
Might not like what I have to say either. I don't know.
Right. And I might not like what y'all gotta say.
Right.
So I want everybody to get in here. If you got a friend that was very opinionated, hit them up right now.
Yes.
Yeah. But go ahead, Tony.
Okay. Um, if you would like to participate in the conversation, uh, add us on Skype. That's how we do the virtual call-ins. Big shout out to the people over at Skype. At the bmdp at gmail.com. Once you add us, send a message. Maybe send a message. That way the message pops up and I can see it. Um, but Will Smith is he's trending right here on YouTube.
Trending on the world, man. There's not nothing that boy ain't trending on right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, we got the uncensored moment.
You know who
That's,
got the hardest?
that's what we're interested in. The uncensored. Big up Jester. War.
Just Justin. Oh, Justin. We're gonna have a great conversation, Justin.
Jester, I say. Chris deserved a Roswell slap, but Nina, his mixed feelings. She feels like it's a bitch slap. It wasn't.
Just go ahead and show it for whoever ain't seen it.
If you haven't seen it, here we go. Here's the moment.
Who got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord.
Oh, so Will was the topic of. I didn't see this live.
So here's the thing, right? Will is sitting front row center.
Okay,
it's pretty
he
hard.
Appears to be the topic of discussion right now.
Right. So for everybody, I promise you, man, I'm nominated for a Grammy in a couple days. If they sit me down, really. I'm just trying to act normal about it.
We not
with your boy.
We guy, yeah, Neon Vagabond. You see how they just
cash grab.
Oh, since we're talking about award shows,
yeah, we're talking about award show. I don't know if you guys know this, but you know your boy on Sunday. Your boy is nominated for a Grammy. His second nomination. Every time I get
the heat is just flying.
Every time I've gotten nominated, I've won. So I ain't never lose, you know what I'm saying? So that's also maybe something I just would casually drop, you know, that I've never lost a nomination. So
wow. Boy. This is something. I think they broke the system. It's stuck.
I think it's never going to go back.
I think
it's just going to be huge on the screen.
I think my computer
froze.
I think it was like,
I don't mind being big because I got a lot to say today. Okay.
I'm going to have to find a way to reset this, but until then, continue.
But here's my thing. Here's my thing, okay? If the Grammys sits me really close to the stage, I know I've won.
Because they want that money shot.
They want the shot, and they want you to not take up time walking. They just want you to be like 3 steps stage. You know Will Smith was going to win this by his seating. Okay, guys. So that's a little insider secret. They seat you when they already know who's going to win. They know who's going to win. They knew he was going to win this. There was jokes made about him throughout the night because he's front row center.
Okay.
This is
award show 101.
it's unavoidable to not laugh at Will. He's
Right.
literally at the closest point of the stage.
Okay.
Just want everybody to know, to understand the dynamics.
Of
Everybody
the
that goes on stage is probably making a joke about Will because he's right there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jada, I love you.
And
G.I. Jane 2.
You,
nah, my bad. Go ahead.
Because it's about to get crazy.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see it. All right?
Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back.
That Will Smith wins. Like, please. Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2. Can't wait to see it. All right?
All right. So we want to be clear. Will is fine with this joke. Jada is not.
So there is also a theory about that as well, but we'll get to that later.
Right, but no, we want to frame right. Okay, Steve's in the room. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to the count. We just want to make sure we understand. Right here, he's okay with the joke.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
And shout out to Lupita.
Jane.
Holding it so elegantly. Like, oh.
Shout out to Lupita for not doing what every one of us would have done.
Oh!
Every one of us would have been like,
Oh! Yeah. Listen, her
Lupita.
facial expression, because you could tell at first it was like, oh, this was a joke. They rehearsed that because the form in which Will came through with the follow through, pop.
yeah, the way he had his head down, like not gonna do anything, but then the awkward slap. It's such an awkward. It's such a movie slap.
I was just about to say that's a professional movie slap, which is why you would think, nah, this is stage. But
This
I'm
is
not gonna
staged,
lie.
right.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'll be honest with you. When you have muscle memory and that's just how you slap people, because you've done so many movies in which you practice, yo, the movie slap is pow!
Right, you have the professional slap. Right.
I think even Chris is like, oh, the slap's coming. I know how to take a slap. This is not my first slap. I've been slapped before on camera. So I know that I got to give a little give with the slap so I don't eat the whole hand type, you know? So he was like, okay. He just slapped the shit out of look. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I want to say these are relatively real explanations on why Will slapped him like that. You know, Will could very well just have that motion in his body like, oh, it's time to slap somebody. Pop! Like, it just keep it moving. So,
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
that's the moment where even myself was like, oh, yeah, they're actors, but I don't think the Grammys.
Right. And like
sign
I said,
off on
Lupita,
this.
right? Lupita, man. I'm looking for Lupita to give me the authenticity of the moment.
Yeah, because she
But
was
Lupita
around.
is holding it down too well. She's in actress mode.
Yeah, she's like, oh, hold it
She's
together, Lupita. You know you in the shot. Don't be the meme.
Lupita, you know you on camera. You sitting right behind the man. Whatever they might have been doing, don't give too much. Just enough, Lupita. Wow, that was a hard slap, Mr.
Oh,
Smith.
he's cussing on the Grammys.
Okay, now
I'm
he's
not sure
saying
what's happening.
shut your mouth about my wife with curse words.
This is
Okay,
getting spicy.
Okay, this is a little hot. This is a little hot.
Yeah,
The white
Venice
lady
point.
don't know nothing. They got a white lady out there like, ha ha ha, black people. They done turned this into the Source Awards.
I told you.
I
Now,
told you, black people. I told you couldn't get. They gonna fight. They gonna go fight.
told you they gonna fight everywhere. Listen, now Venice Point brings up a very good point that I also said to my group of friends. I
Shout out
said
to Vanishing Point.
this look right here.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
Go back, because I just want to see the reaction of that white girl behind her.
Okay,
Behind her. Where he's,
okay.
she's smiling. She's like, oh boy.
Mouth.
Wow, dude.
Okay, so Lupita right there is like, no, this is serious.
But yeah,
Lupita's like, this ain't a joke.
and the white girl too. Look at the white lady in the back. She's like, "Oop. She shouldn't have said that.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Now Lupita not smiling no more. Lupita's like,
Lupita, you win an award. Yo, I don't care what nobody wants to say, man. Why don't we talk about Lupita's performance? Come
Lupita-
on, man.
Lupita's a superstar in this. Because
We not gonna talk about Lupita's performance. This is the performance everybody came to see.
I'm going to, okay?
look at Will. Look at Chris. Like, I'm trying to get out of this situation. That is a very, very similar moment. I want to bring to Vanishing Point's point. That Vanishing Point's point. You guys remember
Tony's
this?
algorithm.
You remember this moment?
I don't know what you're typing, bro.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Are you a podcast?
You guys gotta remember
Oh,
this
yeah.
great
Yeah,
moment
Yeah.
It's your
in
new
American
online-
history.
You ain't even got to show it. We know it.
The
We all
city
know
has
it.
Yeah, I
changed
just want to
dramatically,
freeze
tragically,
frame on
and perhaps irreversibly.
Mike
The
Myers.
people are black, and even for me to complain
Yeah, see the look on Michael Myers' face right now. That's pretty much Chris.
about I would be a hypocrite because I've tried to turn away from the TV because it's too hard to watch. I've even been shopping before even giving a donation. So now I'm calling my business manager right now to see what is the biggest amount I can give, and just to imagine if I was
Look at
down
Mike.
there, and
Mike
those
is
are-
like,
those are my
I-
people
we're
down
on
there. So
live
anybody out
television, I
there
don't know
that
what to
wants
do.
to do anything that we can help with the setup, the way America is set up to help the poor, the black people, the less well off as slow as possible. I mean, this is Red Cross is doing everything they can. We already realize a lot of the people that could help are at war right now, fighting another way, and they've given them permission to go down and shoot us.
And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating, is the lasting damage to the survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi.
trying to hold it
may end up
together.
being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Oh,
Yeah, it's classic.
Chris too. Chris Tucker.
In the past few days.
Oh my goodness, that is this is.
Chris was like, why y'all throw to me?
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
What's it?
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Let's talk
It's
about
awkward.
it. Let's
It's
talk
awkward,
about
man.
it, ladies and gentlemen.
So, hey, Jester, I want to hear what Jester got to say. Jester, so everybody show them how to do this now. I don't know if everybody has Skype, you know.
Yeah, which I get. So if we,
I don't know if there's another way to get people in here, but I do want to, you know what, as a matter of fact, let me give my point.
Yeah.
We just started this off with a Fresh Prince video, Summertime,
Okay.
where Will Smith is acting goofy and is
Nina, send us a
being
message so I can see it. Anyone
yeah,
else
and it's
that's on
being
Skype.
very just being goofy,
Right.
If you guys remember, this, like I said before, this whole Will Smith thing is like a Marvel movie origin story. So first we start with he actually is from
West
the ghetto
Philadelphia.
of Philadelphia. He's
Right.
really from there.
Yes.
Now, none of us know what life was really like for Will in Philly,
Right.
but we know it's a tough area, and we know it might not have been easy for him. I don't really know his story like that. Maybe somebody that knows his story could really be like, yo. But that might have been really, really tough, right? So we start with this. We look at the beginning of the Fresh Prince of
History of
Bel-Air.
television. Okay.
We look at the beginning of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and we see the same thing, where he says, I got to get out of Philly because I'm getting bullied by some kids that are up to no good. I'm not doing anything, right? Now, we don't know if that's a true story, but it probably is. Will doesn't have a record, never been arrested, nothing like that. And then when you see a video like the one we just showed, Summertime, you see how goofy he is and how he's just doing the running man and being comedic.
Right.
So you begin to see something much like a Marvel origin story. You look at a Spider-Man, right? And I'm not saying Will was a weak dude. I am saying he has portrayed himself and his roles have portrayed him as a weak, goofy, comedic person.
Right.
Right? He drops albums with no curse words back when he was a kid. Who does that?
Right.
Your first album's supposed to be full of curse words. He's never rapped about guns. He's never rapped about being tough. None of that. So I personally believe what you have is a situation where someone probably saw abuse in the home, abuse in the neighborhood, and most likely was recipient to abuse himself, bullied, something. When he gets on the stage and he gets a chance to talk, he lets out this sigh of relief. This is the real him. And now he can move on to stardom. He gets on Fresh Prince, goofy character. He does songs like Get Jiggy With It. He does songs like Welcome to Miami. So far in his career, anybody that want to say I'm lying, man, step up right now. In his career, the streets have never respected him. I'm adding that to, first of all, his life. He probably didn't get respected. I don't know. I'm just saying. I haven't seen anything adverse. Then I'm saying in his rap career, maybe he had moments of respect. Because I'll even say, man, when his first song where he was spinning around in the chair with the graffiti, parents just don't understand.
Yeah.
Goofy. So for me, I never liked Will Smith.
Okay.
Because for me, he was a goofy rapper. That's for me. So you look at the possibility of no respect on his way to the rap career. He enters the rap world. I didn't give him any respect. I'm pretty sure that was very common. Maybe not the majority, but I'm pretty sure it was very common that black people did not give Will respect. Right? He goes on to do more songs. I like some of his songs. I like Summertime. I like Brand New Funk, I think it was called. I like these songs. But at no point in Will's rap career
Right.
has anyone ever said, damn, that boy Will is a good rapper, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
It's very hard to look at Rakim and Will, Karis One and Will, da 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 and Will. Will was never on a rap chart list favorite for anybody I've ever known.
Now, yeah.
Right? Now, to me, he was a weirdo. He was a rapper that I never liked. And he consistently dropped more music that I never liked. So when people started to hear songs like Getting Jiggy With It and Welcome to Miami, I don't see how they were like, man, what the hell is this crap? Because to me, this was consistent with Will Smith. He dropped the kind of music that I could not like. So for me, I want to say, I don't think a lot of street people fucked with his music. I think he came into the game as an artist that white people liked. And he came into the game at a time when you had people like Public Enemy, Queen Latifah, and you got a De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest. You had a lot of people who were like, this is what we need. This is what we're talking about. We need, Black Power. We need da-da-da. Now, mind you, he found a lane and it worked. But I don't think nobody could tell me that he was ever on your list. I don't think anybody could ever tell me that he was ever not the white people's favorite artist. And the fact that he was the white people's favorite artist made us not like him even more.
Right.
I'm speaking for myself and a certain group of people.
Right.
I do believe I'm not alone and that the streets was not fucking with Will. When he was in Philly and when he got on wax, the streets was not fucking with Will.
All right. Now,
that's my first point.
Can I have a point to that?
Yeah, and I'd love to see the chat's points.
I've been trying to figure out the Skype thing, which I just figured out. So I haven't really gotten a chance to read the Skype. But what I'm about to say might actually shock a lot of you. Time and time again, black artists get labeled as this. They're not a black artist because white people, I guess, mess with them or whatever the machine puts behind them.
Let's talk about it. That's a fact.
Because they're not gangsta or tough or they don't rap about certain things, they're looked at as not cool. But then on the other side, we complain about the actions of the people living the life of the tough guy, the gun toter.
It's a weird conundrum, but I do want to frame this 1980s, 1990s.
Right.
Now we have evolved to think much differently.
Well, no, still not yet. Absolutely no, because even the Kanye West documentary, I guess that was also late 90s, look at how uphill he had to fight because, again, he's from Chicago. And even there was a point in the first documentary episode where he said, "What? I'm not Chicago because I'm not killing people in Chicago. Right. Like I'm from the same streets the rest of these motherfuckers is from.
Right.
But because I'm not killing them, I'm soft and I'm not to be respected." I don't think whether or not.
And I think that if you put a year on when he said that, you could look back and go, yeah, that was hard. If you were just a rapper with bars, this was a hard time for you. But if you look at any rapper popularized by the black community, at the same time that Will was doing his thing, a lot of them were speaking positive black messages. Like I said, you go to Public Enemy, you go to Queen Latifah, you go to everybody that was in the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s. Yes, there was NWAs. Yes, there was a lot of gangster rap too. But there was also a lot of but either way, and I'm standing on this. And I saw Ian say he liked Hammer. Come on, man. Come on, man. Why isn't anybody talking the realness? Hammer was whack to us.
I have the same issue when
He
people
was
talk
whack.
about Will.i.am in our community. I'm like, what? Because he like
Will.i.am
is
was
a
whack
goddamn
to us.
genius, and people will come up to me and say the craziest thing, and I'm just like, what? Like, what's it? So we have to be rough talk. I don't know what the label is because honestly,
Neil Robertson, Neil is speaking the truth. Jazzy Jeff was the show.
absolutely.
Everybody,
Yeah, I
please
said that
be
earlier.
clear. Please be clear.
Yeah,
Jazzy Jeff was the show.
yeah,
You went to a Will Smith concert to see Jazzy Jeff.
right.
That was the show. Will was whack. Hammer was whack. Will.i.am was whack. His gear, whack. His hair, whack.
Like, don't fake the front. Yo.
Talk the realness.
I've been the
Okay?
one
So
on the other side of the attacks because I've always been different. I've always been the one, like, why do I only have to listen to hip hop? Like, why?
Right. And
What are you
that's
talking about?
fair. That's fair. And I'm glad because I want everybody to understand my musical limitations were actually set in public. And in private, I liked everything. But 1988, in the hood, y'all got to stop acting like it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Y'all got to stop acting like it wasn't real. You could not go outside and be like, don't stop believing.
No, you couldn't.
Hold on to that feeling.
You couldn't
could
at all.
not do it.
Yeah. Now.
Right? So I know everybody want to act tough now, but talk that realness, man.
Big up with everybody with the subscription.
And listen, if you're not from the hood, just listen and let me talk to you. You know, if you're not from the hood and life was all right, trust me, I get it. You could listen to what you want. Nobody could tell you nothing. You had friends from all kind of nationalities. If you was from the hood, like me, you didn't know a single white person. There did not exist. I did not know one white person until I got to junior high school. And I had to go way across the other side of town to junior high school.
Dang.
And I won't even say I knew them, but they were some of them in some classes I had. But I didn't know them because I ain't fuck with them. And they ain't fuck with me. So that's the first point I want to make, man, is that not everybody's experience is the same. And so I kind of want to put what West Philly's experience might have been like for everybody in the chat who has no clue what growing up in the hood is.
All right,
and I'm just trying to bring you the Carroll City version, West Philly version. I get it. That's the first point. Streets, I don't think ever fucked with Will. So just imagine you're a rap artist. Your career spans 2-3 decades. And at no point have black people really fucked with your music.
No.
I don't care what no one says, that's gotta hurt.
Right. For sure. For sure.
So this is
and
Marvel
and you
origin.
definitely hear. You definitely hear all the time, especially with social media, right? Now, cool. Now the transition from that point, at what point is the respect of Jada and Will deserving of, let's not to make it an all color thing, of the black community? Now,
let's go. Let's jump
some
30
Beyonce
years.
Jokes out there. I'm not saying.
Let's jump. Like Tony, let's do it. Let's jump 30 years. I'm gonna jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
He gets the respect
As
from
an actor.
us as an actor.
As an actor. Can't say
As
shit.
an actor.
Right?
He's a superhero.
Top two.
As
in a
an
lot of
actor,
conversations.
He's a god. But y'all want to stop acting like he was somebody in rap that we cared about. He was not. We do goofy dances to his music because he allowed us to be goofy. We didn't start respecting Will Smith until we started to respect his acting. And that includes Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because Fresh Prince of Bel-Air did tackle some topics that affected our community. It was wicked to see a rich family on TV for the first time.
But what's so crazy to me is everything with Will goes hand in hand. The Fresh Prince, the way he was in music, and then the transition into, he wasn't no tough like West Philly thug dude on
Never,
Fresh Prince. He
never.
was a
He was the
goofy
goofy West Philly kid that
West
got
Philly
bullied. He
but we
left
like
West.
that.
Y'all be clear. He ran away from West Philly because he couldn't handle it. He becomes an actor. The boy is great at acting. He gets award after award. He's iconic. He marries a black woman. We love him. So let's just start, okay? Jump 30. We respect him now. What begins to happen is everyone begins to do the stuff that I think only happens when you become a top tier celebrity, which is dissect your life in a way that nobody really should have their life dissected. I don't care what nobody want to say. Let me reiterate this to bring this point forward. We did not respect, they probably did not respect Will in the streets in Philly. We did not respect his rap career. When we begin to respect his hip hop career, his acting career, he then begins to date somebody who a lot of people say was in love with Tupac. Tupac is the opposite of Will Smith.
Literally.
He's the opposite persona of a black man to Will Smith. The streets are saying, we respect your acting, but now we no longer respect your personal life. We respect you on that stage, but we do not respect your personal life. We're going to drop memes. We're going to diss your personal life. We're going to make fun of your personal life. We're going to drag your personal life. Because we love Tupac. We respect Tupac. We respect the gangster. Just like we did in rap, just like we did in the streets. You weren't that in the streets. You weren't that in rap. And now you're not that in your relationship. Follow what I'm saying. Will Smith now creates a new version of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith has been playing other people's written roles, gets a chance to rewrite something that's iconic. And what does he do with that story? Fixes it. He looks at himself and goes, I've been a goofy ass dude in Philly. I've been a goofy in rap. Now y'all got me as a goofy in my relationship. And y'all have intrinsically tied me to the Fresh Prince character. No matter what I do, I will always be directly linked to that character.
Unless I'm in a movie.
But no matter what, you're still going to I'm always linked to this character. It's what you all first know me as. Right? I know that when you see Will Smith, Fresh Prince, and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you think that's the real me. I'm going to recreate this show. Hopefully, you guys will change your view of me through this character. And if you know anything about the new Will Smith Fresh Prince of Bel-Air version, Fresh Prince in that version, he ain't no goofy kid. He's a tough kid. They show what he went through. They show his hardships. They show that he was, there's a big image of the kid in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air holding a gun and pointing it at somebody. Fresh Prince wrote that as himself holding a gun and being like, yo, I'm tough. Y'all gonna see me as tough. I never got a chance to write my Philly story. So y'all see me as a goofy. Y'all gonna see me as tough. And we hate it. We're like, this is whack. There's no reason for Will to recreate that story with him being a tough kid other than everything I'm saying. We just don't respect him. And I've shown all those examples of not respecting him to say, as we don't respect his relationship, as we drag him every single day on the internet because of his relationship, because his wife is on that red table talking about their personal business, talking about her love for Tupac. Everybody knows what's going on, embarrassing him. Nobody can argue she has embarrassed him. Now she's going through a disease. And we all, maybe not everybody going to agree with me, but a G.I. Jane joke is a very light joke. G.I. Jane was a superhero. She was a militant fighter. They have the same hairstyle. He says, I'll see you in G.I. Jane 2. For sure, maybe not a good joke. I didn't think it was a good joke. But man, there's way worse jokes, y'all. One of them was said that same event earlier. The female, I forgot who she was. She said a worse joke about him not being a man and stuff like that. Had to ask Jada for permission. We don't respect him. We've never respected him. And I think what we saw was the boiling point. The moment where he said, I am about to show everybody, respect me. And I don't care about the consequences. I don't care about how embarrassing this is.
Motherfucker, I'm about to win my first Grammy, and this is...
I'm about to win my first Oscar.
Oscar, sorry.
And y'all ranking me? Y'all ranking me? And I found the joke funny until Jada was like, that's not funny. And you can clearly see it on camera. That I was like, ha, ha, ha. And then I looked at Jada and went, damn. I guess I got to do something. He had it. He's had it. He's fed up. He's had it. And Chris Rock is not a big muscle man. He's not The Rock. He's not somebody that would punch back. He's not somebody that would tackle. So what we have here is the person who probably had all of those things that made him get bullied happen to him, go on stage and act out the same kind of treatment to somebody else who is way weaker than him, has probably also been bullied, who he knows he can bully. And in my opinion, Will Smith took an ultimate L on this stage. He made all of us look stupid. Because that kind of joke is the kind of joke that you pull Chris to the side and you say, Chris, me and my wife did not appreciate that joke. And I guarantee Chris Rock would have gone back on that stage or literally, made some public statement that said, I made a joke about something that's serious, that was distasteful. I apologize, and I owe the Smith family a apology, and I owe the Black community apology. I apologize, and that would have been a great representation of how two Black icons handle a situation for every other Black person worldwide to see and say, man, when I get disrespected, I pull the person to the side, I let them know, and most likely we can resolve this without any of the cameras knowing what happened at all. And that did not happen. And for that, Will Smith is donkey of the day.
Well, can I have mine?
Let's go.
All right, here we go. So I hear that and definitely understand, but when you take into account again how certain people take it upon themselves to
Real quick,
label you.
Hold on, Tony. I just want to address something. All right, Ian, my boy, my brethren, is saying when not in a moment, we can all say what we do.
Exactly.
And maybe with another 5 seconds, he may have. Here's my problem with what you're saying, Ian. How many people are dead right now because they didn't take the 5 seconds? How many people are in prison for life right now doing 30, 40 years because of 5 seconds?
Right, but that's the same goes for Chris Rock.
You cannot excuse your behavior by saying, oh, well, we know what we would have done if we had 5. You cannot make the excuse of what you would have done if you had taken 5 seconds. Hold yourself responsible. Black man, hold yourself responsible. You are responsible for going up on that stage and slapping that man. You are responsible for not taking that 5 seconds and thinking it through. You are responsible for everything that you did. And if you were doing that to someone who smacked you back, punched you back, shot you, and you died, you are responsible for your own death. Because ain't no words. There's no words that are more valuable than your life or your time in prison. Ever. And we gotta stop coddling this. You say something, I'll talk to you. I'll come see you about it. But I'm not about to shoot you, stab you, punch you about actual words that came out your mouth.
Yes, and everybody needs to start watching the words that also come out of their mouth, because we've gotten to a place in history where people feel like they can say whatever they want and then apologize after. And sometimes it doesn't work that way. And it's also a much, much bigger situation, in my opinion, than just Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. There's a whole night. When do we, as a Black community and Black entertainers and Black celebrities, start supporting and not doing what everyone else expects us to do? Now, I'm not saying that there's no comedic relevancy and there's no ways for people to still have their fun and stuff like that. But again, we're discussing a much bigger topic that Black women constantly have to go through these comments and jokes and labels about their hair. Jada Pinkett isn't just defined by short hair. And if she's going through a situation where we have no idea the mental space that they're in as a couple, with her dealing with alopecia and what that looks like, and we have no idea the conversations beforehand. Maybe Chris said, yo, I'm about to make a joke, and Will was like, don't, no. Like, I'm letting you know, don't do it, like, blah, 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 blah. But because we don't respect Will Smith because he's a goofy, he's not a tough guy, it somehow makes it seem like he's not able to stand up for himself or tough enough. So sometimes you got to show a motherfucker, like, hold on. No, I didn't shoot you, cut you, I didn't punch you in the mouth. I gave you a little quick boop. Because enough is enough. We enough is enough. and people slapping August. Him and August could have had an agreement. We don't know their agreement. He might have known. I think he know. He knew that Jada was fucking out. It was part of their arrangement. That don't bother me. But we don't know if he's had a conversation with Chris. We don't know. So all of it's speculation. We don't know if the backstory. I thought somebody else wrote. I heard someone approached Will with the pilot episode for Will Smith. This has been in the works for years. I don't necessarily think it's all just directly. It's a large thing, and to just say that because we don't respect Will Smith, and because, like, I'm sorry, I've been disrespected many a times and thought that I'm to be pushed over, and it just doesn't work like that. So should he have walked up and slapped Chris Rock? No. I'm not saying, yeah, slap him. But I also am not going to label that as also the act of violence of shooting and other issues that we have in the black community as black men, being able to control ourselves. Because we also have to stop with the, like at what point is enough enough? As a celebrity.
I think T. Claw just said it best when she said that the motherfucker said, love make you do crazy things. No, it don't. No, it don't. That's not love. No,
that
it don't.
Sounds cool, but we all know love takes us out of character. It does it all the time.
Every
single person in here has done something out of character because someone that they love.
Not because of love. Not because of love.
I respectfully disagree.
Love is a solid foundation, bro.
There is no way that love makes you break. I'm not saying do something violent, but every single person has gone through something via love.
Is a solid foundation. I love my mom.
Yes.
If somebody yelled at me in the street and said, suck your mother, or they said to my mom, go suck yourself. When do I go, who cares what he said?
Oh yeah, see, that's not the difference. That's a very downplaying.
But I'm saying
no.
But I'm saying to you, that's my mom.
Now say your mom was going through.
You know what 183 LP would have done? 183 LP runs over there immediately and goes, what you said? But then I realize, you cannot go and slap people because of words.
I agree. I 1000% agree with that. I agree with you.
I am not a caveman. Now, I also want to say,
I'm not doing the major L and 100% L, though. I disagree with that.
I do not take away the responsibility of Chris Rock making a bad joke.
Because if a white person said a race, like I'm seeing it, we already know a lot of us is stepping out of pocket. Like let's not do that and make it seem like it's impossible to lose your cool over words. Because if some white dude was standing out front of Koyo screaming, all of y'all is niggas and da-da-da-da-da, one of us is going to do something.
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't. You're at the level in which I'm not hearing that all of us is just going to sit there and be like.
Let me tell you the level I'm at.
Okay.
I went from, I would charge him, to then being like, I don't care what he says, to now being like, hey, let me talk to you. I'm at the level where I would pull that cracker to the side and say, man, you got a lot to learn in this world, man.
And he says,
somebody gonna kill you out
come on, nigga, what you got to teach me, dog?
And we're gonna talk. And we're gonna play the game exactly how it's gonna get played.
Fair enough.
And if I don't make a dent, that's fine. But I care enough to be like, God damn, bro, you're gonna get killed. One of these black people out here gonna stomp you. And I just want you to know that. And I just wanted to pull you to the side to say, man, you should go home before one of these dudes come over here and fuck you up.
Now that's the perspective. That's the perspective of somebody from the hood that's been respected by his community and things like that.
They're not going to arrest the white boy. They're going to arrest those black people.
No doubt.
And they're going to get charged for a crime. I'm doing that to save the black people. I'm no longer just sitting out there and going, I don't care, he can yell all he want. I'm now going, y'all are probably going to jump him. And y'all are going to go to jail or pay heavy fines for doing something that don't matter. Let's get this guy out of here. We have to evolve. And I'm watching this shit happen all the time. Tony, you and I sit outside of clubs every Tuesday night, rum and bass every single Tuesday, and we watch chaos, madness,
Hold on.
crackheads this, white people that, all kind of stuff. And Tony, we talk to them. We talk to them. If a white dude was outside of Coyo Taco yelling, nigga, 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 I'm going to pull him to the side and say, man, you should leave. You should leave, my brother. You should leave. But I'm doing that to save my people. My people. And yeah, Alicia's right. How you going to slap your homeboy? Tony, if you and I are in a space and you're my friend on some level,
Yeah.
if I decide to slap you before I talk to you,
We don't know.
but let's just, we
But
don't know.
we
But
don't
let's
know.
look at it.
We don't know what conversation already happened.
Face value, Tony. Face value.
I already know the world ain't face value. Like, this wasn't a face value situation, but I guess we can approach it like that.
Let's assume what we can assume. And what we can assume is Will Smith did not know he was going to say that joke. What we can probably assume is Will Smith found it funny until Jada was like, that ain't funny. What we can assume is Will emotionally, and I want to go back to the love thing, let love make him go crazy. I'm sorry, made not love make him go crazy. Made emotion and disrespect and that feeling of I need to gain my respect make him go crazy. Because again, anyone who has been in love, and I'm talking about a real relationship where you really are on a mutual love page, you know love doesn't make you go crazy. Tony, what makes you go crazy is cheating. What makes you go crazy is disrespect. What makes you go crazy is abuse. Love should never be guilty and should never be blamed.
I don't. So you guys are. So you're telling me
crazy.
So what you're saying is your spouse does something that, or you guys are figuring out whatever a disconnect is, and those times where you're stressed out, you're dealing with things because you actually love this person. You're saying that that's not it. That when you love, there's no breaking emotions or breaking character.
Not
on the basis of love, because you love somebody.
Right? Think about it.
And you're watching.
Give me an example.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish. Wait, hold on. I'll give an example. So breaking character, your mom is potentially dying of cancer, and on a big stage, you're about to get a Grammy. The host in front of national television says, "Oh, fuck, I gotta take this call in a second." Says a joke about your mom's appearance due to her losing her hair because of cancer. Mm-hmm. And you lose it, you get yelled, you start even just yelling out, watch your fucking mouth, is losing your cool, right? There's different levels of losing your cool, but that's breaking character. You like even you're telling me that those things aren't because of love.
No, that's not love, man. Me loving my mom is what builds a solid foundation. That is when everything is smooth and solid. I am breaking character because I am offended and feel disrespected, and I have fear.
Think he found the joke
fear. Fear is why I'm breaking character, because I'm fearful of losing my mom. Love had nothing to do with me breaking character. Fear is why I broke character.
Yeah, no, I disagree. I think the love of you trying to stand up for your
I'm
whether
not
or not it's
standing up for her because
misdirected
she's
and
not falling, right? I'm not standing up
yeah,
for her.
but
Her
see,
honor
you're
is
you're you're
secured
approaching
because
this
the
from
people who love
your
her have secured her honor. If I'm
yeah,
breaking character,
I don't
it's
think that's
because there's an
necessarily
insecurity.
I don't think that's a 100%
Think
truth.
about it,
I think
Tony.
that's an
Tony, think
approach.
about it. Tony, think about it.
I am
If you're Think about it. No, no, no. Think about it.
mm-hmm.
Role is reversed. Your mom, cancer, hair falling out. Somebody says something on stage. You're in the crowd. If you know that your mom is going to beat cancer, you know this.
Yeah, I'm still pissed. I'm still seeing you outside.
I guarantee your response is going to be, I see you, devil. I see you. But I've already beat you. I've already gone past the worst.
See
I've
again,
already
I'm saying
seen your
we can
words
say
100
that
times.
we can say that now. I'm
Come
not
on, man.
faulting another man for
Nah,
I'm
but
not.
Tony,
I'm
what you're
not. I'm
really saying to
sorry.
me, Tony, let me tell you what you're really saying to me. What you're really saying to me
And
is,
I'll let you
Leighton,
know if that's what I'm saying or not.
I'm going to tell you exactly what you're saying to me. What you're saying to me is, Leighton, I haven't experienced that yet. You're
Experience
saying
what?
to me, you haven't experienced love. You're saying to me, you haven't experienced a situation where somebody was on stage disrespecting your mom. You're basically saying to me, this is what I think I would do. And I'm saying to you, Tony, when you've been through it, when you've been through the fire, when you've been through it, nobody gonna tell you nothing that's gonna get you off your square. When you on your dean, you on your dean. When you not on your dean, that's when you jump out of character and go
Yeah,
do
I'm sorry.
something
I've seen too
crazy.
many people on top of the world lose their cool. So
And
I
I
can't
think
just
we can
assume that
assume
once you get
they
on
are
a high
not
horse,
good at
that
home.
emotions don't no longer drive. I don't think that's realistic. I think that's a really good place that you're in, Walshy. Like honestly, like it's great that you're there,
But it's because of
but to
experience.
which is fine. Yeah, but I correct me if I'm wrong. Like I don't think you have you been in an experience like this Will Smith situation where in front of national
Of
television
course.
somebody going through something
Of
painful.
course. Of course.
Let's talk about it.
I've been in I've been in millions of interviews. I've been disrespected on camera tons of times
Yeah, but
by
again,
people who
but
wanted to
you've
say
been
something
disrespected. Though I mean
racist.
somebody
No, no, no.
that you love.
No, no,
Like
no. Disrespected meaning that if I love this person next to me, I'm disrespected. And they
no. That's what.
disrespect that
But
person,
Washi, that's
I'm
not the
disrespected.
same. We're talking about your wife,
I'm
your
disrespected.
mother, your kids, somebody that
Right.
you are
Right.
naturally ingrained to protect. Like this is my, not your boy. I'm saying
Right.
somebody.
So Tony, let's be real.
Yes,
Let's be
that's
real.
what I want because for
Let's
people in
be
the chat to
real,
say that
Tony.
they're all just gonna be
Tony,
like, no, I'm gonna talk to him.
man,
Automatically, it's
I almost
unrealistic.
want to call my mom in here, but I know she won't like me telling this story. Shout out to my mom. She's in the other room. I hope she's not listening. Tony, I have watched a man put a gun to my mother's head. So when you say to me, I haven't been through
No, I never said you haven't
disrespect
been through.
like
I'm asking
this.
the same
No,
type
Tony.
of.
If you're asking me, have I been through disrespect like this? I'm telling you, Tony, when you grow up in the hood, it is 10 times worse than what Will Smith just went through with a G.I. Jane joke on stage. I have
Yeah,
been
that's
through
from
it
your perspective,
100
though. Is what
million
I
times.
that's from your perspective, man. You can't
And I'm
put
telling you,
your
my
stance
perspective is
from
based
your
on
perspective,
experience.
right?
And
But your
my
experience isn't
perspective,
everyone's experience. You're coming from the experience of somebody that, like you said, grew up in the hood. You haven't battled your whole being disrespected for your entire career. You haven't dealt with that. People
no,
respect you.
we're not
Like,
talking about me trying to compare myself to him.
no,
We're
I'm not.
talking
This is
about
not a comparison
we're
thing.
talking about I set it up to let you know his whole career he's been disrespected. There's still some people in the chat that don't think his whole career he's been disrespected. From the streets to his whole career he's been disrespected. He gets to a bowling point. My point is We cannot excuse that boiling point. We cannot look at words and say that was justifiable or in any way that's okay. We have to hold ourselves accountable. And when he says something like, love makes you do crazy things, that to me is exactly the point of when you say, you need to hold yourself accountable, Will Smith. Love did not make you do that. You went crazy because you're scared, you don't feel respected, and a bunch of other stuff. There's nothing about love that made him go on stage and smack Chris Rock. And there's nothing that Chris Rock said that deserved the smack.
I don't know that. I know everything that we see. I know everything that we see on TV and on a camera isn't 100% of the. I know that, and it seems like we're all forgetting that. We're all. It seems like that's only a convenient thought.
Talk about the hypothetical.
That's what I'm. But we just know it's not a hypothetical. It's a fact. We know that there has to be more than that. Like there is more that.
No, we don't.
Okay,
no,
so
we
then
don't.
we're.
Unless
so
you're
then
talking about
other times.
You're talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Whether he thought the joke was funny, everyone in here seems to think he thought the joke was funny because he laughed. I can laugh at something. You can't tell me if I think something's funny because I laughed on camera. I'm
what hypothetical thing are you making up?
I'm not making up anything. I'm just saying you're also making hypotheticals that was just it. He didn't know the joke was coming. Maybe he thought a joke was coming, but didn't know exactly what.
I said I assume. I said that's what I'm saying. That's the
same thing. That's
an
assumption. Is
there's facts, and forget all the assumptions. The fact is,
so the facts are Will is wrong.
Words came out of Chris Rock's mouth.
The facts
Will Smith smacked him.
The facts are Will is wrong. Period. That is the fact.
Period.
That's
a fact.
Okay. Bang. Facts are Will is incorrect in the situation. You should never put your hands on another man. Period. Right? Especially for words. Okay, we've gotten that out the way. Now, as we start to discuss everything else, Will being taking an automatic #1 L, now it's not that simple. Because a lot of things happen that at face value, you're like, oh, you shouldn't have did that. But once you start getting the rest of the information, it's like, all right, well, I can see how, as a man, that pushed you to the point where it's like, nah, we're not going to do this. And he didn't do an act that was so irreversible and like, oh my God, Will Smith, I can't believe you just went up and knocked Chris Rock the fuck out on the ground. No. We've seen storming of stages. Was he wrong? Yes. I'm saying the rest of the story where everyone is trying to make it seem like he's corny and a clown and how can he control himself? Yeah, so easy we forget how a lot of us has been in situations where we get taken out of character. And yes, I'm not. Sure.
I agree with that.
And I'm not at the status or the success of a Will Smith or at award shows, but I can only imagine that the more successful you get, the more aggravating that also turns. Now,
pressure,
I also get how you can turn that off to the rest of the world. I don't give a fuck what these social media people are saying. Like, but then your boy Chris Rock, who maybe has been to your house and knows that your wife is going through a disease and that your family is scared, stands up on a stage at the Grammys and makes a joke. I can see how someone is like, this nigga got me fucked up. Period.
Exactly. Totally agree with everything there.
I can see it. I'm not going to just be like, Will Smith, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's an L, you're corny.
We're not unaware of why people get slapped.
That's it. And as a lot of people said in the story, people been slapped for less. So to say what like he's like I'm not hearing that. Like
but at some point we have to stop excusing.
Yo, I agree with you, Walshy. You know that. You know exactly I agree. I'm not the aggressor.
We all agree. We've done it ourselves. We've slapped people. We've been slapped. Maybe.
I've actually never. No, I'm lying. I slapped someone in high school. He said I got into college only because I was black. Because I got into a school that he didn't get.
Smack that.
That's the one and only time I've ever slapped a person in my life, and I'll do it again.
But then you get kicked out of college, and it's like
no. See, but here, I'm really glad you brought that up. That exact moment, Because I slapped that student right in front of Brother Ox. Yeah, I went to a Catholic school. Yeah. I slapped him right in front of Brother Ox. Brother Ox heard what he said. The whole class said, "Oh, shit." They thought I was about to get kicked out. Brother Ox looks at me, looks at his computer and goes, and starts typing away.
Shout out to Brother Ox.
Shout out to Brother Ox, who's a white guy.
Because if it was Sister Karen,
Sister Karen would have called the dean. Brother Ox saw the story and was like, yeah, I can see why Anthony just slapped the shit out of him. So as long as he don't do nothing extra, don't take it no further, and don't turn it into a beef, I'm going to let that little slap go because you kind of deserve that one. I'm really glad that came. That's exactly that's all I'm saying. He is wrong.
Right.
I should have never slapped
he's wrong.
that kid for telling
You're
me
wrong.
I only got into Northeastern because I was black. I shouldn't have slapped him.
But we understand why.
But
right? So now we just
I was
have
the
to
goofy
deal
tennis
with
player in high school.
We just got to take
slapped
what
up that
happened
day.
and say there's no excuse anymore. We've evolved to a place where we are getting the short end of the stick when we act out in this behavior. And it's not love that's making us act out in this behavior.
Fair
It's
enough.
disrespect, it's fear, it's a bunch of other things. And we have to deal with and address the things that are making our community act out every single day as we see people die every day. If you live in South Florida, the road rage here is crazy. You cannot be at a light for more than 3 seconds before somebody honks you for 30 minutes and then throws a bottle at your car. You have every opportunity, every single day in Miami for sure, to get tested to see what you're gonna do. But we can't excuse doing anything that allows us to put us, our family, and our livelihood in jeopardy anymore. And so this is a great thing that happened. Yes, it's an L. But like every L, like every fall, like every stumble, there's something that hopefully we take from that moment and evolve into the future with. And from this moment, hopefully we can say, Black man, yes, someone will disrespect you. Someone will push you. Someone will poke you. Don't let the trauma of years and years of disrespect, years and years of oppression, generational trauma, make you lose your life, your family's life, your livelihood. Get it together. Pull that man to the side. Tell him the disrespect. Tell him to get out of here, or tell him to come hug you and get some love. And know that, bro, we better than this. I guarantee Chris Rock would have felt 100 times worse than that slap if Will Smith sunned him.
Look,
by saying,
I seen a comment that kings have a greater responsibility. Y'all let me know what king allows another king to be disrespectful and just talks about it. Like we've been conditioned in this that we can't. Like we went so far left with, I guess, aggression or whatever we want to call it, that it's now like we have to like walk the line of turn the other cheek always. And I'm sorry, that's just not. Ian, kings are human, like these unrealistic standards that you can just be treated however, and because you're a king, you're just like, yeah, what? Maybe that's the case. So I'm not saying
pressure.
I'm not saying Will should just be slapping everybody that makes a meme or Clearly, that's not what I'm saying, guys. But in this particular situation, this is the second time Will done slapped somebody. The first dude tried to kiss him on the red carpet, and you see Will gave him a little slap. Like, so we already know Will ain't scared to be like, you overstepping your boundaries. I'm gonna need to slap you back real quick. So
but let's be very clear. Someone physically putting their face on your face.
No, I know it's not the same thing.
It is different.
Right, for sure.
Smack that guy every time. You know,
but he
ladies
didn't touch
and gentlemen.
You know, he didn't touch him. He could just push him away. He don't gotta slap him. Why? Like,
nah, man. He leaned into that space that we all agree is no longer
Right, you can
I
push him
think
back
in
up.
court,
There's plenty of space to
no,
back
no,
up.
yeah. I think in court, if Will punched that guy, he would won because you could clearly see this guy advancing into the space that I think you can defend yourself at
Well,
this point.
sometimes it depends on where you're at. In Massachusetts, no. LA, maybe
I don't
not
know, man.
either. Florida is a little
I
different.
think that
You can.
no, Florida, you can shoot him. But what
Yeah,
I'm saying is,
yeah.
I do think if anybody was like, yo, this person walked right into my face and I pushed them away, any court would be like, yeah, that's fine. You can't just walk into somebody like that. You can't just bump into somebody, you know? So, just to reiterate though, what we have is a lot of lessons, man, a lot of learning points.
That's why I wanted
you
to
know?
talk about it today, because there's a lot
Yeah.
to
And
unpack
so
there.
and so when I see like I think it was Steve, the count says, we got to talk about drill. And man, Steve, you watch our show, you watch Heat Hunters, we talk about it all the time. We address these issues every single episode. We even tried to do this thing where we went on World Star and just picked whatever the last video was.
Shout out to Italy.
Johnny Power. And we really, really, really deal with the issues that I know a lot of people don't want to talk about. We make it awkward for a lot of people. That's why our community of people in the chat are evolved people. They're better thinking, they're thinking
For
higher
sure.
thinking people. And me and Tony are so glad to have y'all, And so, yeah, there's tons of issues that we need to address. Tons, man, tons. This is just highlighting it. This is just creating that conversation that we constantly need to have. We constantly need to have it. You know what I'm saying? And I forget, I think Ian said something earlier, but I forgot what it was now. But yeah,
I would
big
like
up
to
Shelly Tony.
highlight. I'd like to highlight some of the things that I appreciate. That I think, like if we chose to spin this in a positive light, not slapping people, but we do have to start standing up for each other, making sure
And for our black
women. I was just
And
about
that's
to
why I
say
say to you,
for our black
yo,
women.
Tony, this ain't new. Me and you talk about it on our show all the time. So, yo, welcome to everybody that's new.
Yeah.
And hasn't
big
seen
up.
our show.
Welcome to the Heat Hunters.
There's a few things I want y'all to understand. Heat Hunters, we talk about it all the
That's
time.
deep.
We talk about the pressure of being a king. This ain't our first time talking about the pressure of being a king.
No.
The pressure of being a breadwinner. The pressure of being a man, a black man in the society. We talk about it all the time. But we also talk about how much we gotta stand up for our black women. And of course, slapping someone because they disrespect your black woman is not.
Oh. Oh my God.
I think I'm back. What happened?
Yeah, you're back. I think I pressed something on Skype. You're back there. Oh, how do I?
Okay, bring in.
No, but finish. We got
Yeah.
first.
And so, oh shit, it's Nina. I just
Wait, they won't hear her yet. They won't hear.
Okay,
her yet.
Nina, mute your
They
mic.
can't. They can't. No, she doesn't have to mute. She's good.
Okay. Yo, so what I was saying was, and we always talk about defending black women, and I want to make it very clear. We do not say defend black women by going out there shooting, punching people.
And slapping people.
Because that is the quickest way to lose your black woman.
That is not
That is
at
the
all
quickest way.
what I'm trying to say, or what, like, I'm not saying when
I do want to
somebody
ask Nina a
disrespect,
question
just start
and ask
slapping
everybody
people.
a question, though.
Say that again?
Can I ask this question, Tony? Can
For
I ask
sure.
a good question?
For sure.
Do y'all think Jada, when she got home, was like, and why the hell did you do that? Or do you
To be
think
honest,
she was
I
like,
don't know.
oh my God, I love you so much for slapping Chris?
Like, thank you for slapping the shit out of Chris Rock on the Grammys. let's
Or
turn
do
that.
you think Jada was like, why are you so stupid?
Like, yo, you really just did that?
I really be wondering why I'm with you sometimes. Like I wish
Nina, can you turn your phone sideways?
Tupac. Like Will is trying to be Tupac to Chris Rock.
Like, what is? Oh my god! All right, we have our first call. We have our
Yeah,
first call. Let me make sure this works though. Nina, I might need you to turn your camera sideways though. That's the only thing. And then we do.
yo, Jada is a wild card. Shout out to Ray Drizzy. She say Jada's a wild card.
Oh, never mind. That didn't happen. Here we go.
Yo, we're not talking about held it
Okay,
down at the show, Steve.
unmute, Nina.
We talking about at home.
Nina, you should be able to unmute now. I think my mute forced you. Oh, that's your house.
Better?
Okay.
Yep,
Oh,
you're
wait.
I see
unmuted,
the
but now we're
crib.
seeing
We see
now
the
we're seeing
toes.
we're seeing
We
toes
see the
and stuff.
laptop. Nina,
No, this is a really great first call, Walshy, because as we all know, Nina is our resident legal expert here.
That's right.
At
That's
the
right.
at the Heat Hunters. Yeah, she's a legal correspondent. So, I love the
on.
fact that we can have these.
Trying to get the mic. Okay, go ahead. I can hear
Okay,
you
yeah, you got it.
I got it.
Listen through Skype, not the stream, because the stream is gonna be delayed.
Okay. It shuts down the stream because I'm on a call, so
Okay,
I can't
perfect.
see.
So yeah, what you gotta say, Nina? You were saying that we've had our time. What are you thinking?
Man, there's a whole bunch. But to Walshy's point about Jada, what she said, I think low key she's happy because now her Red Table Talk ratings are gonna go sky high.
Oh, that's a dub.
For show. That Red Table Talk.
That's real talk, yo.
I can't wait
Nina
for the next
spit
one.
real talk.
Can't wait for the next one.
Talk is going to go higher than when the whole entanglement thing. This might be the next level up. Like they outdid themselves. Secondly, I know we've been talking about Chris and this, but can I please shout out Questlove for winning the best documentary, because that's what I'm discarded Questlove winning that, and that was huge. And that was his Philly brethren too, by the way. They're both from Philly, which
Big
I'm
night for
very
Philly.
disappointed about. You know, that his Philly brother won such a big high honor as well, and it just got overshadowed by all that bullshit.
I
Wanted
agree
to
with
shout.
that.
Secondly, I agree with Walshy. I'm sorry, Tony. That whole
Oh, you don't have to be
violence-
sorry.
No, I think we all agree. I think we all agree.
Oh, we all agree.
Yeah,
we all agree, and it's a real deep mental health issue for sure. I really think that Will Smith had a whole bunch of built up anger and embarrassment, and he just took it out on the wrong person. The whole August situation, the intent, all of that built up, and he never really had a chance to come out and slap all the trolls that are on the internet, because you can't go as much people you want to slap that they got them little Twitter fingers. I'm sure he wanted to slap the hell out of millions of people, and that slap was really for those millions of trolls and millions of people
I think that's where my disagreement comes with this, because I can't assume that I don't know Will, so I can't assume that I'm not gonna say weak, because that's not a sign of weakness. I can't assume that he lets those people affect him. I can't, because there's plenty of people that don't. And he's never slapped nobody before. People have been making tons of jokes before. He's been the butt of, and he never went up and slapped no comedian or nothing. I think we're just assuming that because I just can't assume he cares about memes. I don't. Everything that Will has done motivationally and things like that on his social media for the last few years has a stance of he's a pretty grounded individual. Like now I get all the August stuff and everything been spinning, but we can't just assume that now he's lost it because of memes. I don't I hold, I guess, Will more of a respect than to just assume he just lost his cool because of a G.I. Jane joke and just slapped Chris Rock on the Grammys. I just can't think it's just because of memes and overtime, August. And again, we've heard rumors about open relationships and stuff all the time. He never slapped nobody over that. He's been the butt of jokes for years. Big headline tabloid jokes.
If
So
you listen to his acceptance speech, he said it all. His acceptance speech was proof
okay,
that
so I definitely have to go and double back.
by all the naysayers, he's been affected by all the butt jokes. He's been affected. He said that in the speech. He admitted saying that he's had to put a smile on his face, knowing he's been hurting inside. He's come out and he said that in his speech. That's why he was crying, bawling. I know that feeling. I know that feeling because I've done that multiple times when people have disrespected me and I just chuck it up. Okay, haha, whatever. But I'll blow up at the smallest thing, knowing it wasn't really that thing.
Oh,
It was
no,
just
we've
the
all
tip
been
of the
there.
iceberg. What you didn't see was the bottom. What you don't see is the iceberg at the bottom. All you see is the top, which is the little part. You don't see all the buildup underneath that's inside in his family, all that built up anger and built up disrespect, everything. And especially the Oscars, not winning an Oscar, all the boy,
Yes,
everything
but
was
again, I think
entangled.
everyone gives that.
Everything
That sounds
tangled
like the
together
speech
at that
everyone
moment.
gives. Doesn't I low key feel like that's the Grammy. I mean, that's the Emmy win the speech. That's I got an Oscar. I'm a black guy that they passed up 6 times speech. That all the naysayers. I feel I don't know if I can just attribute that moment to just losing cool over
But his
being the
speech
butt of
was not
jokes.
about getting passed up about an Oscar. His speech had nothing to do about that. His speech was about people talking shit and
How
him
long?
Facts.
How
having
long is how long is the speech?
jokes that
I
made
mean,
the
it's
argument
pretty
about.
long, but
Okay, I'll
it's
watch it
good
later.
though.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
But
I was like, no, you
No,
got
not the
this.
whole thing. Not necessarily. If you guys have any idea what the last few days have been for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oof.
well,
But you know what though?
Oh,
There's a
my mom is in the chat. What's up, ma?
shout out to mom.
Ma, you were.
hey,
Never mind.
mom.
We not. This,
Hey, mama.
I don't know if mom
Um,
knows about me slapping the kid in class. I hope she
yeah.
wasn't
So
watching
real quick, Ian said something that Will Smith did say in his acceptance speech, which was that
the
the
industry.
industry teaches you to ignore disrespect. And
Right.
then Ian asks, "Is that okay?" I don't think we have to wonder if there's an answer to that, Ian. Clearly, that's not okay, but it is a fact. And this is where we have to stop acting like we don't know facts, black and white facts. You cannot let things bother you because you'll never get anywhere. This industry literally builds you up to tear you down. And to last in it, you have to ignore the millions of disrespect. We're not talking about is it okay or is it not okay? It's just a fact. Everything Will Smith said in his speech is a fact. It was a fact. And you could tell he had a lot of pain in it. He had a lot of pain in it, man. You
Man,
know,
I
it
don't.
was a
Who's
very
Ian?
real speech.
I
Ian.
felt it. It
Ian.
made me
Ian
I
emotional.
felt it.
puts. Like I just want to talk about what Ian just said because it's kind of what I'm getting at when I say we don't know the full. We put all the responsibility on the other person to not slap somebody or whatever. But Nina, as a league, there's other ways where you can entice someone to physical extent, and it wasn't triggered by something like if I spitting, I guess is still physical, but
It will only thing that can trigger an acceptable hit is if somebody hit him first. Then he can claim
so legally
self-defense.
there is no extent where someone can
No,
trigger.
no,
Okay,
none at all. If that's the case, millions of motherfuckers out the hood would be free right now that shot their gun at somebody.
well, a
And
gun. Well,
seriously,
that's
just
a
because
little
somebody
extreme.
says something sideways to you, that does
No, but
not give you the right to hit
no,
somebody.
but see that where we're putting it as this just one joke. It's not just one joke. Like the extent of just the constant. It's not bullying. Is that Will Smith hasn't been bullied, but someone that has to go through constant verbal abuse and then they act out. You're saying there's no legal represent of this person did this because of years and years and years of verbal.
Oh, so you mean to tell me that? So then, if that's based on your logic,
I'm not saying
then,
just Will Smith.
So based on your logic, then you're saying that all these school shooters, these white school shooters that get bullied, that they're
again, because that
bullied,
act is
no,
not
it's
the same.
Logic. It's the same logic. It's the same logic that you're using.
Though, but it's
So
not, because that's a
justifying
premeditated plan of shooting a school. I'm saying a direct act of passion.
Like, so you're talking about like heat of the moment,
Heat of the moment, act of passion.
Yeah, that's still crime. It's just that it's
still
only
wrong.
reduced. I mean, because see, you got to listen to me. First degree murder, now that's premeditation. That comes with more sentencing.
Absolutely.
Manslaughter is still manslaughter. If you kill a motherfucker, heat of passion, it's still, you still kill somebody. It's still a crime. It's
which
just
is essentially what I'm saying. It's still wrong that Will did it, but
still a misdemeanor.
Accusing him as first degree total L, he's completely wrong. What the hell is wrong with him? I think it's not. I would reduce it to a manslaughter charge because of all the things we talked about in this.
Kill nobody. It's not manslaughter. It's assault. It's
right. You're not. But we're bringing the charge down because I'm saying we got to look at everything that is Will Smith and not just give him and throw the book at him like how how some of you in the chat have seemed to like. It's not throw the whole book at Will Smith. It's like, damn, Will, you was wrong, but Chris, you was wrong too. You like, at what point do we hold people accountable for their words?
It's different levels.
So
yeah, I want to be
Chris
clear.
don't get charged. Chris don't get a charge.
I want to.
His
clear,
actions
man.
lessen Will's charge. In my opinion,
y'all cannot put the word wrong and just throw it at people like they match. This is not the same.
So Chris did nothing wrong.
No. You have to clearly define what Chris did wrong. And maybe even use a word that's not the word wrong. Use a word like, yeah, Chris was offensive. But slapping someone offensive is wrong.
Absolutely. Slapping somebody is wrong, period.
Like, you don't want to make it seem like they're the same. And that's the problem with like my boy Steve and like a bunch of people.
But I think you guys also have to hold accountability for people that cause these things. Where we live in this era where it's okay for people to just say and do whatever I'm sorry, you can't.
Tony.
We're not going to make words unimportant.
Tony, they can. Tony, yes, they can. It's called free speech, and yes, they can.
Okay.
Trump was the leader of it all. Trump
and
really
Tony, you best not play yourself to try to stop someone from freely saying what they want to say.
No, me? Go ahead. Listen, I'm not doing this discussion because I feel like I'm gonna go and slap somebody if they disrespect. I already know I don't get affected like that, so I'm good. That's what I'm saying. I don't get affected.
Everything that everybody's saying in the chat is exactly on point. Poor taste, insensitive. But man, slapping that dude.
No, it's wrong. I'm sorry, Chris. Making that joke is wrong. I'm gonna stand up for Will. I'm gonna Jada. I'm gonna stand up for this whole. We're about to make jokes of black girls' hair, and she's going through a disease and balding, making a joke.
Tony,
he can make a million other jokes. I'm sorry, he's wrong.
The day that you become president, you can take away free speech.
No.
And you can make it actually wrong.
I don't have to be president to stand up for what I think is right in my situation. I'm not stopping other people from
talking. When something is wrong, that means that there's a consequence, right? So if I were to throw my basketball at somebody's window and it crashed the window, I'm wrong. There's a consequence. I have to pay for it. Everyone understands that dynamic. If you say that his words were wrong, what is the consequence that you feel is valid to correct that wrong?
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Because we know Slapping it is not.
Agree.
I-
We've already came to agreement in that.
Right. So what's the court? What's the court on free speech? What's the court on free speech? What's the verdict on free speech? We're talking about a human saying what they want to say. And you
Just because
gotta
you have
deal
the
with it.
free speech to say something doesn't mean you can't say something wrong. I don't like.
No, I'm telling you, man, wrong means that there's
He was
something that somebody
wrong.
can legally do
No,
to make you not do
so
it
then
again.
we're
to me.
misevaluating what I mean by wrong. I'm not saying what he did is illegal. I'm saying it's wrong. As a prominent black comedian, it is wrong for you to stand at the Grammys and make a joke about Jada Pinkett going bald because of alopecia. You're wrong.
And
Period.
I don't
get
use that
how
word
we're
because you're saying the same word about him getting slapped. And I think you got to use another word. You got to say, man,
okay.
you
So
insensitive,
Will is
bro.
illegal in slapping him. Will committed an illegal act, and it was caused by Chris Rock saying something wrong.
Insensitive.
That shouldn't have. No, wrong. See,
Insensitive.
I leveled up. I leveled
Will
up.
Smith too ugly.
Oh, no,
I
okay,
leveled
no, I
up
see what you did.
Will
Okay,
from
my
being
bad.
wrong
My bad.
to
I see what you
illegal.
did. I see what you did. I see what
Chris
you did.
is now. He's
But
still
again,
wrong.
Yeah, like I said, you have to put a definition to the wrong. Yes, exactly.
He's just wrong. You're
Exactly.
wrong. You were wrong for making
Got to
that
put a
joke. You were
definition to the
wrong.
wrong because you can't say I was wrong and therefore
Neon Vagabond,
what
not
you did to me-
insensitive, racist. Wow. I'm saying, like, you're just wrong. There's on so many different
Yeah.
levels. You
Can
were
we stop
just
right there?
wrong.
Hold on, Neon Vagabond. I don't know if you understand what racism is. Let's just be clear. This wasn't racism. Okay, we don't want to just start throwing words. We don't want to just start throwing words out there.
No, but at the same time, Hollywood is. How do we know that Chris isn't a product of the Hollywood machine as well?
Well, what we do know is talking about someone's hair is not racist, Tony.
Yes, but when you're talking about someone's hair in the aspect of this particular situation, her alopecia and all of this, like, it's not racist. No, it's
not racist. It's just
right.
not racist.
It's
okay,
just wrong.
It's,
Okay,
it's,
right.
It's definitioned with the way you set up. Use the word wrong. It ain't racist, bro.
All right,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, there was no racism here. And also, everybody in the chat, they need to understand, yo, racism comes with a power. Okay? Racism is a person who has power to be able to use your race against you accessing things. That's racism. Racism is not, yo, I don't like you because your skin color is black. That's not racism, because that person doesn't have the power to stop you from getting a job because your skin color is black. Once that person has the power to stop you from getting a job because your skin color is black, that is racism. So everybody needs to understand, y'all using words stupidly, man. Come on, man. Use these, like, just go learn. Go look up the word and understand. Racism comes with power. Just because someone says, man, I don't like you because your hair is blonde. They don't have the power to do anything about it. It's a dislike. You know what I'm saying? I dislike you because you look, you whatever. But I'm not an ism against it. You know what I'm saying? And we got to be clear about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Chris Rock was not being racist to Jada. Y'all just can't start putting charges on that boy and putting extra cases on that boy. It was stupid. It was inconsiderate. Yes.
I read in an article.
It was prejudice, right? That's prejudice, right? Thank you, Shelly Thunder. I think Shelly might also be a lawyer. I'm not sure, but Shelly's correct. It's called prejudice, not racism. Two different things.
Yes, it's prejudice.
Right. So racist was the wrong word, but it still feeds the issue that we continue to have, though. Like, so I mean, listen, I think they were both wrong. My mom said both inconsiderate. Any last words, Nina?
Yeah, Nina. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, no. I mean, my last words is I researched and I saw that there was a recent article interviewing Jada about her condition. She even came out and said, "Oh, that she finds humor in this. That she even laughs about this with herself. That when she did it, she made jokes about it with herself. Like, so she finds humor in it regardless. But now when it's out in public like that. It just, I don't know. I kind of find
I
it
want you to know, I didn't know that part. I didn't know that part.
hypocritical.
I didn't know that.
I know everything.
Tony, did you know that part?
That she had a interview making light of the alopecia?
Yeah. Making
Oh, no,
light
I
of
didn't.
her own.
Tony, that's important. That's important.
No, but
That's important, man.
see, that's a continual thing. That's another
If you
continual
find
thing.
light and humor in your own situation,
Hold on, that
and
doesn't give other
was
people
not
the.
Will about it. He made a light joke about, oh, yo,
Light
and
joke.
if anything,
Tony,
I took
light
his comment, I took his joke as a compliment because it's like, bro, G.I. Jane, she's a heroine. She's a dope person. You're bald, like you're a dope actor. You're a dope person for being
Tony.
bald. So I see you in G.I. Jane. Like that's not even an attack joke. It's
Tony.
not even.
How y'all gonna tell them how? I don't understand how people do this.
Tony, come on, man. We have to take the
really
facts.
don't
We're
this
not talking
is
about their
facts.
emotion. We
If
all
I
agree they were
if I make light
and-
of something that does not give someone else the clear pathway to like am I crazy?
Yo,
if-
Tony,
if I say
insult her though, he didn't
Tony,
insult her. I think
Tony.
there's a difference in that.
Tony,
how do
he
you
did
guys
not say
know?
something mean,
He didn't say anything
rude.
disrespectful at all.
He didn't say nothing disrespectful. Do you understand that? Tony, let's look at it like this. Let's say Superman movie. And I say, let's say you're whatever.
Yo, the
something's
count is
happening with
crazy.
you.
Like I don't get.
Something's happening with you, and I'm gonna say, man, I'm gonna see you in the next Superman movie. And everybody gets it because there's something that visually makes that make sense.
Now, what if they didn't say Superman and they said I could see you, Tony, in the next Black Panther? I'm supposed to take that. Oh my God, thank you, sir. Why the fuck can't I be Superman? Why does her role have to be G.I. Jane because she's bald?
It, right? I get it, right?
Like,
but I do think that if you were to sit with it for a second, you would say to yourself, man, Black Panther is not a disrespect. That's a big, powerful, impactful thing.
Again, that's your perception from it. What if I'm sick and tired of only getting considered for black roles? What if I'm like my entire life, all I can do is be a black superhero?
You want to be a white superhero?
What if I want to? Spider-Man was black, and he was notoriously white.
He was
but I'm saying. I'm saying they changed Spider-Man from being a white character to a black. So why is the only character I can be is Black Panther? Whether or not I'd rather be that. I know what I'm saying isn't
a black superhero in Eternals. He was a black, but he wasn't designated a black superhero.
But
he happened to be a black actor and was a superhero.
That's for you guys. That's for you guys to decide how you would take it. I'm just saying you can't assume that Jada is happy about being called G.I. Jane on the stage at the Grammys because you guys like G.I. Jane.
No, she clearly wasn't. No, she clearly wasn't.
But
the fact that
so you can't say that
she's
not
shown
being
publicly. She's shown publicly that she's willing to laugh at this. Does matter.
I have to go and see the interview. I don't know. I have to go and see it. I legit have to go
someone
Please.
Who's paid to be funny, who's paid to insult, as Jada and Will were insulted.
So you guys are telling me there's no line.
Tony, did you see when Jada and Will were insulted by the other comedian?
Last night? I didn't watch the show last night.
Please look it up. Now, please look it up. Please look up Jada and Will being insulted by the other comedian before Chris Rock.
Oh, okay. Well, I will leave on this last note, though, okay? Men lose their hair every day, B. Every day. Okay? Jada does not have cancer. Woman. She does not have a terminally ill disease. She just has a hair loss condition, which is very common. I mean, just in general. I mean, I don't know, with whatever the name is, alopecia, whatever it's called. But in general, people lose their hair everywhere. Like, so I don't understand. I don't know people that have that condition, but I'm just saying that this is not just tailored to her, and it's not like this is a terminal illness. This is just a aesthetic
I don't think we can
her
decide
hair.
how
It's an
Jada feels
aesthetic
about
issue, I think.
having alopecia. I really don't
No,
think
no,
we
no.
can do
I agree
that.
with you, Tony. But
I
I
don't
also,
think we
like I
can.
said, I have to take in consideration like everything. And once she
That's
starts
what I'm
being
doing.
like,
I'm taking condition everything to.
no, no, no.
It's
But
not
Tony,
just a
Tony,
hard L. Like
the truth is, there right now, because she just schooled me to something. I have seen people talk about alopecia as if it was a cancer, as if it was life threatening. I thought it was life threatening. I don't know, Tony, man. All of these things matter. Once you tell me that what we're laughing at is not actually as bad as everyone's making it be, I could see Chris sitting there with the joke and going, "This is a light joke about a heroic movie that has a similarity that I
do you
can
know
get.
who
I
the
can make this very light joke." Fine, she didn't take it. But if we're talking about Chris's mentality at making the joke,
Very
all of
light.
this matters.
Very light. He would
But Meg,
that joke at the dinner table. Let's just say that. That's
yeah,
a joke that would have been
yeah,
said at the dinner
yeah, I'm gonna
table.
see you at the
If
dinner.
he was
Exactly.
if he was sitting at a dinner table at a party, just casual talking, like I think that it would have been taken a whole different way.
I don't know who the person is, Tony, but do you see the video of the
no,
girl,
I'm not.
the comedian? Somebody in the chat, um, look at the talk to the comedian. Look at the comedian.
Jam Pren,
Um,
why?
give us the name of the comedian. Yeah, we definitely, yeah, Jamprin, we definitely need to talk to somebody with alopecia. It's clear. Like
Well,
like
Violet
clearly,
said that she has it.
who does?
I Violet.
Right. So we can talk to iViolet.
I Violet said
But
she already wouldn't go around slapping people, but again, I want to make sure I'm driving home the point that I am not saying it is okay for Will Smith to slap Chris Rock.
right, and
I
none
want
of
to
us are
make
saying it's
sure this
okay
is
for
the people in the
Chris
chat are
Rock
still saying it's
to make
not
a
wrong
joke.
to slap people, and I don't think anyone here is discussing whether it is okay
Right.
to
No,
slap someone. I think we
no,
all
we've
know
passed that. Anybody just joining, we've passed that.
we've passed
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Tony
We
Blackout has
passed that.
never said yes. Will should have slapped Chris Rock at the Grammys. What Tony is saying is we can't just say Will lost his cool and he's weak and he's cornball and he's whacking it with everything else that is packed into this one moment. And to make
We
it
can say
just
that. We
about
can say
that
Will
one
lost is
moment,
cool.
huh?
We can definitely say Will lost is cool.
No, but yeah, right. No. He did lose his cool, but I'm saying that it's just like he's just like it was a sucker. I'm not going straight there because that to me is ignoring everything else.
It is what it is. It is what it is. It was a sucker move. I don't care.
Disagree. Sometimes a motherfucker need to get slapped in his mouth.
And I'm saying to you, Tony, we got to evolve past that.
It shouldn't be on
Tony,
stage. We do got to evolve
Tony,
past
you
it.
you cannot.
But we
promote
also have to evolve past saying whatever we want to other humans and expecting them not to do anything. I'm just saying.
Always,
absolutely.
Tony, we will always make verbal mistakes. We will always, Tony, you will always say something that you go, oh man, I shouldn't have said that.
1000%.
You do not deserve a smack for that.
No.
So trying to say, oh, we need to always be, no, we're human. We make mistakes. We talk and we say things that are wrong. You do it, I do it.
Right.
Chris did it. We cannot say, oh, we need to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, start talking, not disrespecting. No, we disrespect and we don't even realize we're doing it.
Well,
it's about having the conversation when it happens.
Right. But also, we have to not just be able to say whatever we want and then apologize after.
Guys, that's can I say my mom just slid me a note.
Oh,
we can't see the note.
Oh, you can't see the note because it's white.
Background.
Guys, I'm gonna read what's on this note.
Yes.
And shake the room. This is what my mom says.
Ready for this one, Nina? This is good.
Here we go.
Oh, shit.
She said, but Will and Jada would have laughed if Chris had made that joke about someone else.
Boom. Drop the bombs. Where the bombs at?
Mind you now, Will was already laughing. Will was already laughing.
I'm gonna do the bomb because it's
there you go.
but I want to wait.
Drop.
Right. Now, are we saying that people can do these things because other people laugh and like I don't?
Yeah,
it's the double
Tony.
standard. Nobody likes double standards.
Tony, anything that you don't like about yourself, that if somebody was to say about you and laugh about you, that would have triggered you to go fight somebody, you wouldn't do it if it was laughing. You're not defending.
Oh, so if Chris made a joke about someone else having alopecia and whatnot, he didn't make the joke. Sorry, I take that back.
The joke was not about her having. It was not about her having it. I think that's where the emotions are coming from. It's not about her having it.
Right.
That's not
it's about the ball.
Yeah, it's not about the alopecia. It's about this. No, but somebody said it in the chat. It's about this traumatic experience of disrespect for decades that boy has been going through. Compounded. It's compounded disrespect that exploded on that stage. It's not about Chris. It's not about what he said. It's compounded disrespect, and this was an explosion.
Yeah, but
and all he said was keep my wife's name out your mouth. He didn't say anything else about her condition. He didn't even say it on stage. He didn't even mention it on stage. Why he didn't mention it on stage?
Why would he?
Why didn't he say nothing about
Why did he say
because that's
a
what are y'all serious? Wait a minute.
Why he didn't say nothing about it on stage? He had
true,
before.
Tony.
The whole world.
No, that's not true because what if the issue is that they don't want it to be on the Grammy stage? Like
what I'm saying to you is
like that's not the stage to
Tony. Minutes before Chris said that, listen, Tony, minutes before Chris said that, another comedian talked about Will Smith being a weak man. Right before this, man. Talked about Jada owning him and making his decisions. Like he got really dissed by a really good joke right before that. I'm telling you, this is compounded disrespect, bro.
I'm agreeing with that.
It has nothing to do
That's
with
why I'm saying. No, I'm not going to say nothing, though. I'm not. You can't assume it's nothing because every situation has an igniter.
Bro.
We know something
but that's what
pushes
I'm saying.
you over the edge.
The trigger was alopecia.
But that's
it wasn't about alopecia.
And what I'm saying is it's a big trigger. Why are we downplaying the trigger?
No. No. The trigger is the
but
trigger.
You are.
You
guys are saying like he didn't say anything that you're downplaying the trigger. That is a big trigger.
No.
You
violated. Is the trigger.
But Tony, you were wrong.
But Tony,
you violated.
What I'm saying to you is,
and he lost it.
Anything could have been the trigger.
No, that's where we disagree. No, guys. No, because he's never slapped nobody before.
Tony.
That's where we agree to disagree. Man. I'm sorry.
He's not in a
You're
good
not
space.
telling me that a meme was going to make him slap the next person in the interview that asked him something. No.
It could have happened.
That's gaslighting and downplaying. That's him downplaying it. I'm sorry. That's just downplaying how effective that a joke like that could be. I'm sorry. I'm not going to assume that they don't care.
Jada has been very vocal about having it, so I think the excuse of, he didn't want to
someone
put it out
owning it for themselves, Nina, does not.
It's not a good argument because it's already known.
Guys, I'm sorry. Somebody owning something does not create the alleyway for people to just say whatever they want. I'm sorry. That's not how it works.
And like T. Claw is saying, Tony, we're not going anywhere. You're actually doubling back.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, you're doubling back into something that I don't know why. Because
what am I doubling back into?
You're back.
You're backpedaling. Yo, we just went through a whole 2 hours talking about lifetime traumatic disrespect.
Yes.
And now you want to say, oh, it could not have been anything. It's alopecia.
No. See, you guys are taking what I'm saying.
Tony, stop
Maybe
I
said it wrong. Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Tony,
saying
it could have been a meme about anything.
So you guys are saying
it could have been a meme about
he was just on the break.
That man is going through it.
I guess y'all know Chris. I guess y'all know Will Smith. So I'll back up.
But I got enough.
Y'all know that he was on the break of just slapping whoever the next person was.
Life experience to know When
Nah.
you at a tipping point,
Not so. Will was ready to slap whoever was next. I guess that's what we're
bro.
gonna go with.
I
Is fact.
guarantee you.
We're gonna go
that
with
was
Will
going
was
to
just ready to
happen
slap
eventually.
whoever the next person is that said
I
anything that Will
guarantee
didn't
you,
like.
man, it was going to happen eventually. That boy was going to slap somebody
Smooth.
He's a
over
ticking
something.
time bomb. He
Smooth.
has been a ticking time bomb
Smooth.
ever since the whole
My
entanglement
bad.
Come on,
thing.
Tony.
My
He's
bad.
been a
I'm wrong.
Come
time
on,
My
Tony.
fault. Will
Tony,
was
it's
gonna
not
slap whoever
alopecia,
was
man.
next.
He's been disrespected
The
for
bald
too long.
alopecia joke wasn't that serious. It just
Nah, it's a serious joke, but also
it's not serious.
Tony,
it can't be serious.
Tony, right.
How am I
look,
doubling
Tony,
back then?
Tony,
It can't be a
Tony,
serious
Tony,
joke.
a joke.
And
Tony,
yes,
a joke about a young boy having sex with your mother, with your wife. That's not serious.
That's more
What?
serious than hair
Wait.
loss.
Wait,
That's
what?
serious.
Wait, what are you talking
I
about?
don't know what's
That's like
more serious.
straight
That's
family
serious.
disrespect.
That's
What?
serious. And he's been having that.
I didn't hear what you said.
for
What was
how
the
long?
joke?
The joke was, I'm saying to you, a joke about a young boy having sex with your wife.
Violet, I
is
know.
not,
Trust me, I know.
huh? It's serious. That's a serious joke.
What
That's a
the
serious joke.
What the August Alsina
Right.
joke? Yeah, you guys. That's what I'm saying is y'all can't decide to the Smith family what is important to them.
No, we're not
maybe they
talking
have
about
sat down
us
and
deciding.
discussed
What
that.
we're saying is,
wait,
what we're
hold on.
saying is,
Maybe they
Tony,
sat and
it could
discussed
have been a meme.
that. And
It could have been anything.
so y'all can, so you can
Whatever
speculate and
Will
I can't.
Smith was like, that's it. That
So
was
you
it.
can, you guys can speculate, but I can't.
Yeah, but
Because
you're
you
not
guys are
with
speculating
anything
what's
that
the
makes
worst
sense.
joke for the Smith family.
I'm saying to you, Tony,
Wait.
anything could have triggered him. You're trying to get
No, but you're bringing up
specific.
that there's a worse joke that happened before and he didn't do nothing. And I'm trying to explain
Correct.
to y'all, maybe the Smith
He
family
did what
talked
he
about
said
the
on
whole
stage.
August
He
thing
sucked
and
it
don't
up.
give a
Right.
fuck.
But I'm saying to you, Tony, you don't know, I don't know. What we do know was that was a disrespectful joke. What
Right.
we do know is that was a disrespectful joke.
wanna
And you
hear it.
cannot
They were
go
both
around it.
disrespectful jokes.
Other joke.
Right. So I'm saying to you, Tony, if you say to me, man, you light skinned, and I'm like, whatever. And then after that, you like, man, you know, you red. And I go, red is the one.
Yeah, see,
I'm
no, that's
done.
not the
I'm
same
having
thing.
it.
See, again,
It
that's-
is.
No,
It's
it's
how
not.
I take
no, it's not.
It's how
It's
I
not.
take it.
It's not the same
It
thing.
is.
That's not true. That
Come
it's
on,
not the
bro.
same thing. You cannot
It's
tell me
human,
what my
bro.
triggers are. You can't.
That's exactly what I'm saying to you. It's how I take it. You don't know what's going to trigger me. You don't know what's going to trigger me.
Right.
So if you say light skin and that don't trigger me and red triggers me, it's exactly what you're saying.
No,
You don't
because
know
it's
what Will
two
Smith's
completely
triggers
different
are.
situations. I don't want to get personal. If somebody makes a joke, Walshy, about you being red, and then makes another joke about something much worse to you, Walshy,
No,
much deeper.
Tony, no.
No. Listen, that's what happened.
No, Tony. No,
What?
no, Tony. That's not what happened, man.
It's two
Two
completely
jokes.
different topics
Two jokes that were
On two-
disrespectful.
on two
It don't
completely
matter the
different
topic,
topics.
Tony.
It
don't
does.
matter the
It
topic.
absolutely does.
It
That's
does
why I'm
not.
saying you can't.
It does not.
It does. It does.
does not.
It absolutely
Both of them
does.
were disrespectful.
It absolutely
And anyone
does.
that
There
watched
is a
that video
line.
will tell you the
There is
first
a line
joke
to,
was
that you
more
can't.
disrespectful, Tony.
There is a line.
Come on,
And
man.
we can't decide
Come on, man.
that
Exactly. You
August
can't
Alsina.
He decided.
We can't
that joke
decide
just
how
wasn't
they
the one.
supposed to feel about August Alsina. Y'all
Also,
making it
Tony,
seem that
he
whole
wasn't gonna
thing.
go on stage and slap a woman.
What?
Huh?
What? What about slapping women?
He wasn't gonna slap a woman, Tony. Let
But
Chris
y'all
Rock
said he was
said
on the
that same joke.
But y'all doubling
Let
back because
Chris
he was
Rock-
on the
let
was on the brink of
Chris
slapping
Rock have said that.
anybody.
Tony, let Chris Rock has said that same joke that disrespected his wife about their entanglement. And if Will Smith walked up there and slapped him, we all would have said the same thing. That was the trigger. But it was a woman that said that joke, Tony. He ain't slapping that woman.
So he had enough control not to slap the woman.
Yeah, he has enough sense. Come on, Tony.
Oh, they
He's
would've
not
definitely-
slapping a woman. Like, come on, man.
Mm.
What career?
But
What
Chris,
career
he
do you
just
want to
lost.
end? Like,
Chris, he
It could have been any man that said anything disrespectful.
So it had to be a man.
Of course.
Okay.
Tony, what are we talking about right now?
We're talking about the fact that you guys are saying this is fact, and it's funny to me that this is somehow fact.
Smacking a woman is an arguing point for you, Tony?
No, the arguing point is him just slapping whoever was next, as y'all are saying.
Tony,
but not the woman. It had to be a man for him to make the joke, for him to slap whoever was next.
What I'm saying to you is,
y'all said he was slapping whoever was next. So I just wanted to clarify.
No, Tony, stop! Don't do that, man.
No, because you guys, you're doing
Tony,
the same.
Don't do that, man.
Bro, that is crazy. That
no,
you can say no. He didn't slap the girl because it was a girl. He slapped Chris because he was a man. And I'm saying I don't think. I think he slapped Chris because of what he said. But
no, Tony, I guarantee, man. If Chris said the same, remember now. The other joke was worse.
This is all speculation. We can agree to disagree because we're going in circles.
But what I'm saying to you is,
y'all have no proof that that Will was gonna slap whoever was next. No proof. None. Zero. You have zero proof that Will was on the breaking point of slapping whoever was next. Show me the articles or the videos of him being on the brink of like slapping somebody. Or are you guys just owning the fact like, damn, that must be like, he just, of course he slapped him because, like, what? Like, you don't know why he slapped him. I don't care what he said in his speech.
That the entanglement joke is nowhere near as disrespectful or...
No, I actually...
We're close than the
nowhere near. None. Because I think he didn't give a fuck about August until it got out. I think he...
now you're... But wait. So now you're saying...
But that's speculation.
You're speculating too. We're all speculating.
That's speculation, Tony.
We are all speculating.
No.
Yes.
No, Tony.
Tell me where you're not speculating.
Tony,
he was wrong with slapping him.
Tony, what I'm saying to you is,
yep,
the man is not right. It showed. It would have been any, obviously, man, when I say anybody, Tony, it could have been anybody, and it could have been any joke.
You're speculating.
It's not about
the alopecia, Tony. But Walshy, you're speculating.
It's not about that.
Walshy, you're speculating, though. You are speculating. You're saying he was going to slap everybody. How is that not a speculation? Nina, that's not a speculation. Because it goes with the argument.
I'm saying to you
that he was going to slap whoever was next as a man.
He was at a tipping point, man.
Y'all telling me that that's not speculation.
Tony, what we're telling you is it ain't about alopecia. Tony,
is it speculation or not?
It's not about alopecia.
Okay, that's fine.
He made it clear.
Are you speculating that?
Speech, it was not about alopecia.
Okay, but that's not a speculation. I just want an answer of Will Smith on the brink of slapping whoever's next. Is that
also
okay?
He knew what he could get away.
Also, what I realize is back to what I said about your opinion earlier is you're talking from no experience. I realize right now you're arguing, not seeing what he said at the end, not seeing the joke before. Two ignorant stances. You should be going, okay, yeah, I gotta watch that. I see what you said. I gotta watch that. But no, you're actually arguing. And she's telling you, yo, he made it clear it wasn't about no alopecia, bro. There's a speech at the end where the speculation is, to me, cleared up. He's done. He's through. He's at his tipping point. That was what his speech was about. He's had enough. He has been disrespected by the industry He has been disrespected by the industry too many times. Not alopecia, not Shada. He has been disrespected by the industry too many times.
Okay.
And he is at his tipping point. But again, man, I don't want to run these laps because I expect you to be like, man, actually, I didn't watch it, so I don't know what I'm talking about. And be done. But
no, but here's the thing.
For no reason.
Here's the thing. Like I'm gonna go watch it and then come back because I know what I'm saying. Actually, is no, not right now, huh? No, because it's getting late and I really, I'm might be in trouble with a certain situation. But what I'm saying at the end of the day, me watching those isn't gonna change because I still am saying that we don't know. We don't know what the trigger exactly was.
You don't want to.
So, Walshy, are you telling me that things that you've said something on stage at the Grammys and that's the full truth? There's no PRing. There's no.
I didn't hear what you said. My bad.
No, I'm saying that. Are you telling me that when someone gives a speech on a stage at the Grammys, that's the tell-all moment of what just occurred? That
He
there's
made
no
it to tell.
Yo,
Made it
Tony,
He
for
made
you
it
to have an
that.
opinion and
On
not
something
have
he didn't
watched
watch.
everything is ignorance. And I don't want you to live in ignorance, bro.
No, I
Watch it.
understand that.
See what he was mad about. To me, it was clear.
But I'm agreeing
has been
that he's mad about
disrespected.
all this stuff. Like, I don't get where my
Right. So
where
then
I'm
I say
getting
to
lost in
you,
transition.
his disrespect would have come out at some point. I mean, this just trigger, it would have been at some point, bro. It just happened to be at this horrible moment. But at some point, he was gonna be on some red carpet or in some interview, and somebody was gonna say something that he was like, "This is it. I'm not gonna let you disrespect me." And he would have done something, whether it be a slap, whether it be a loud argument, something. He is not good. Compounded years, decades of disrespect.
I'm not
And this
disagreeing
is
with anything you just
and
said.
this is the first time we've seen him lash out.
And again,
And
I'm
he
not disagreeing with
referenced
anything you said.
Character King Richard as his foundation, like part of like how he resonated so much with King Richard because of all the the backlash and everything. Like he really gets into years and years of
But again,
torture.
what you guys are saying isn't contradictory to what I'm saying. That's why I don't understand where it's getting lost.
It
You
is
guys
contradictory,
saying
bro.
that what?
It's not contradictory. It's just still further proving the point on where that came from. It had nothing to do with Jada's
But
hair
again,
situation.
So I think that's the specific part, the igniter part that we're disagreeing with. Because I'm not disagreeing that all of this is built up over what we've been talking about all night. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is that specific joke can hold enough weight to push Will to the point of that break. And I'm not gonna
As
say
the joke before did.
no.
Yes.
Can we just
Yes.
frame this spot right
Bro,
here? No, right there.
Any joke,
Can we?
any
No,
joke could
I'm
have
sorry.
done this.
Both of us are
This could have
speculation
happened
on this specific part.
anywhere.
How are
Tony,
we
this
not
could have
both
happened
speculation
anywhere.
on just that piece right there? I'm saying that we are all speculating because we are making it seem that he's supposed to be just as upset about the August Alsina's joke or whatever as the Jada joke. When I'm saying there is a clear difference between the two jokes. One joke can be very
my
much.
rebuttal to that, Tony, is if it was about his wife, he would have said, like, he would have came out and spoke about it being about her and wanting the world to respect her, not
Now,
about him. He made it
Right.
about
So Tony,
how did he
So,
make
Tony,
it about him
before
when
you
he
say-
said,
before you-
keep my
before you
wife's
say something,
name
Tony.
out your... Go ahead.
right, before you say something, I want to say, I am not saying the joke before should have been the one to make him go up there and slap that woman. I am saying to you,
No, I didn't say you said that.
any joke, Tony, alopecia, infidelity, whatever it was, at that moment, he said, enough is enough. It could have been anything, but he
Right,
chose
but it
that moment to make
wasn't.
it that. And then he showed us later on in his speech that it wasn't about the alopecia. It was about the constant disrespect of which he received in that night several times. It was not about alopecia. It wasn't about that.
I'm still not saying it's directly about alopecia. That's what I'm like. I'm saying it's about him and his wife. Like the joke about the August thing and then the joke about the wife's hair is two different jokes. Whether or not it's directly about alopecia, they're coming from two completely different places. One, the August Alsina thing is what I'm trying to tell y'all. I don't think is a big issue for them. The media made that a big issue for them.
You're doing the same thing. You're
That's my
speculating that
point,
was
Nina. I'm
out of
saying
the
we are all speculating of what is going to make Will Smith tick and get pushed over to the brink. Y'all are saying it's whoever was next. I am saying I don't believe so. I think Chris
I
overstepped
did not
his
say
boundary.
whoever was next.
You
What
did.
I'm saying to you
I
is
have the
it was
recordings.
bound
You
to
guys
happen.
said whoever
Nope.
was next.
I never said it was never.
Oh,
I never said it
goodness
was next.
gracious. Okay.
Because then he would have went up there and slapped that lady.
No,
I said
because
to
you said it first, and then you
bound
said he
to
didn't slap
happen.
the woman because she was a woman. So then I was like,
And I'm
oh,
saying
so
to you-
it wasn't whoever
I'm
was
saying to
next.
you-
It was
I'm
whoever
saying
was
to
next
you,
as a man.
It was bound to happen. It could have happened I literally said to you, it could have happened on a runway. It could have happened in an interview. This was going to happen, and it just so happened to happen there. It's not about alopecia. Why are you confused?
Because you literally said it was going to be whoever was next. So I asked,
Meaning,
how can you just
anyone,
assume?
anytime, it could have been anywhere.
Right.
Why are you confused?
Because I don't think so. And I'm allowed to not think that Will Smith
Yes,
was going
but
to
you
slap
don't think
whatever
so
the next
for
man
no reason.
was that made a joke. I
If
don't think
he had
I
said
don't
in
like.
his
How am I?
speech- If
Am I
if he had
crazy?
said in his speech, alopecia is the reason, or my wife is the reason, then I could see Tony going, man, I told y'all it was that alopecia, man. It's that alopecia that get them every time. Don't talk about nobody with
Right.
no pecia.
Right.
Don't y'all be talking about people
I'ma
with
go-
pecia.
See, I
But
love
what I'm
this.
That's
saying
the
to you,
first
Tony,
time.
is
You know what? I love this.
Anything.
I'm gonna go watch the speech, since the speech is gonna clear up exactly how Will felt, and then we're gonna revisit this next week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch
Gotta
it.
wait a whole.
I'm gonna watch it. Send me the interview too on Jada.
Man,
Yeah.
we
Because
might
I
not
know
ever
what I'm
show
saying
another
is it
video,
doesn't
'cause
have
this
anything to do
this
with the
gonna
hell
cover
he
us-
said at the
This
acceptance
topic gonna
speech.
cover us for the next 3 weeks.
What? Because I already know what I'm saying has nothing to do with the acceptance speech. So either I'm saying it incorrectly, or y'all just not hearing what I'm saying.
Okay, so
Because
so,
there's
so
people in the
let's-
chat.
let's
There's a
just
few
get it
people in the
straight.
chat that's like,
Let's get clarification, Tony. So
Yes.
for the record,
and
are
it's
you
all
saying
recorded, which
that-
is great.
are you
I love
saying that that the whole joke about her having alopecia, that is the reason why he snapped and why he slapped Chris?
No. See,
Is that the
that's
sole reason?
No.
Is that the sole reason?
No. I've never
are you-
said that
then
at
what are
any
you
point.
What are you
tonight.
saying then, Tony?
Jesus Christ.
Because you're about to agree with us. What are
I'm-
you saying then, Tony?
I am saying, are you guys ready to listen? Because I'm going to say it the exact same way, and I'll replay the clips. I am saying I agree that Will Smith has years and years of built up
Okay, we established that.
that
right?
caused this. But the breaking point moment is
Wait, now you're just saying what we just said.
no. See, here's
You're
where the
just
difference.
saying what we just said.
No.
That was the breaking
I knew
point.
you
No,
was going to do
which
this.
is fantastic,
I knew
because I
you
love
was
the
gonna do
fact.
Circles.
I love the fact that this is recorded, because I've been saying this entire time that I agree with you guys that everything is a culmination. So that's how I know y'all wasn't listening, because I literally said it multiple times. I'll go grab the clips. That
Bro,
Will
do you
Smith's
understand? We are telling
entire
you that
career.
you keep backpedaling.
No,
you
no, no.
say it, you agree with us,
Even
and then you
just now,
backpedal.
I specifically said we are disagreeing at the point that Will Smith was just going to break on whoever was next. I literally just said that
we
a
are
few minutes
saying
ago.
That was
This
the new-
was going to happen eventually.
Okay,
Whatever the
whether or
spark
not-
was,
whether or
it
not
was going
eventually-
to happen eventually.
But now y'all are backpedaling because you very clearly said whoever was next. I know that for a
Bro,
fact.
when I said
Both
when
of
I
you said
said
whoever was
I
next.
said it in
and then I
ghetto
very
street
clearly
terms,
asked, I was
man.
like, you're saying Will was going to slap whoever the next person is that said something that he didn't like. And y'all both said, yes. And I
Yes.
said, that is
And I'm still
ridiculous.
saying that. And I'm still saying that.
So you're
And if
saying he
don't
was gonna slap whoever was next.
And if he don't slap, and Tony, if he talks to another person and he didn't slap them, then that person didn't say something that triggered him. But at some point,
You're
he
now
was
agreeing
going
with
to
me.
get triggered.
So now you guys are
At
agreeing with me.
some
Okay,
point,
I love it.
he was
Now
going
you're
to get
agreeing with me
triggered.
because I'm saying that Chris crossed the line that triggered him. And y'all are saying
And I'm
he should have
saying
been
to
triggered
you-
by August. And I'm saying
No,
he
and I'm
should-
saying to you, it could have been anything. And yes, Chris was just the collateral damage. But
was
it ain't about what it ain't about what Chris said.
So it's whoever's next that said the right thing. You just said
No,
whoever.
even about the right thing. It could just been anything. I think it was at a point where it was anything could have been said at this point, because if they didn't react off the August situation, which is a worse joke than the G.I.
Again,
Jane, if
that's
they didn't
specifically.
react with that, then anything else after that was already the tip of the iceberg.
So
it could have
you
been
guys
anything
see,
else.
right there is where the disagreement is. Literally right there. That's it. I don't get why we keep going to the other stuff. The disagreement is right specifically there.
That it could
You
have
guys
been
are
any
under
joke.
the opinion that he was going to break soon. Can we say soon?
Yes.
Okay. So we're in
Yes.
agreement of soon. I really do want to just iron this out. So you guys are saying Will was about to break soon.
Yes.
Are you guys going to stand by that statement?
Yes.
Not next, not whoever's next, but soon.
Yes. He
I
was
am
going to have a
saying-
breakdown.
I am saying I don't think he was just going to slap somebody. I think what Chris...
No.
No, Tony, I agree with that.
I'm
It
saying
couldn't
I
have been-
don't think he was
said it,
going
and
to break off and
I
just
said it
slap
earlier.
somebody.
And I said it earlier. It could have just been yelling. It could have been something other. It didn't have to be a slap. But
I
at some
think
point, he was going to
What
lose it.
Chris said... Okay,
He would
so...
have went out of
He would have
character.
been out of character.
Went out of
Yes.
character.
He would've
Okay,
been out
so
of
I
character
agree with that. Cool, right? What I'm saying is I think Chris something that pissed him off so much that it pushed him to the point of smacking him. And you can't say that the August thing was worse because you don't know. We're all speculating. I am saying
Yeah, but we
I
also
don't
don't
believe.
know- we
Wait,
don't know-
Hold
we
on,
don't
let me
know
finish. Let me
anything.
finish. Because I think that's a very clear stance that I'm taking. That I don't think Will would have just walked off and slapped whoever. I believe what he said pissed him off so much, and then Jada's reaction to it fueled it even more. Like these motherfuckers.
Did we see Jada's reaction to the August joke? Did they show Jada's reaction to that?
Yes, she laughed hard.
And she laughed hard. Wow.
She laughed
That helps
hard.
what I'm telling y'all. That literally helps what I'm saying. That's not a trigger for them.
Will Smith had to look over and look at her laughing hard. And was like,
now we're going
man.
into again, all of that I agree. But then on top of it, like, oh, and now he's doing this? Oh, no. No. Maybe if he made a joke about Jada and something else that wasn't about the hair and all of that, I don't think he would have
It's not
slapped
about the
him.
hair, Tony.
I'm saying I don't think he would have slapped him. Y'all are saying he would have. I'm saying I don't think so. I don't get why I'm getting like why like you got to go watch the interview. I'm just saying I don't believe that if Chris made a joke about another entanglement joke or something like that, I don't believe that Will Smith was going to walk up and slap him. I don't
know.
Agree with that. I think
And we're both speculating. We are.
Yeah, I don't
all
know.
of us are
But I am
speculating
saying
at that particular
the
point.
only thing that I'm
But
saying.
can we agree that we're all speculating there?
He's fed up. He's fed up.
I agree.
He's fed up. He's
I
at his
agree.
breaking point, no matter what.
Okay, I don't think that's for us to decide. I'm just saying.
I mean, he said it in his speech that he's fed up.
I'm saying that.
Watch his speech. In his speech,
No,
he's
Nina,
sick and tired of people.
I know that. I'm saying that if Chris said something else about something, I don't believe Will Smith went to the Grammys that day to slap somebody. The Oscars, sorry. I don't think Will
we don't
went.
know that.
You're damn right. We are all speculating.
If he had said something in his speech about his wife's hair and her condition and really pinpointed it that was the trigger, then maybe yes, I could go with that. But he gave a whole blanket of an explanation. It had nothing to do with his wife. Nothing
Talking
to
to
do
a
with
lawyer,
his
Tony.
wife's hair.
Which is
period.
why I'm going to let her finish.
Go ahead. He had the floor to say something and really advocate for other women out there, other Black women out there who have the same condition. He had the floor to support his wife in that way.
Now.
And instead made it about himself.
Okay. So.
And how he's tired of being the punching bag and having to protect his family and all the shots that are thrown at them.
Right. Okay, so I have a question now. At the
Oh
Oscars,
boy.
winning your first Oscar, you just slapped Chris Rock on stage for making a joke about your wife. At this point, everyone didn't. I would like to say that everyone didn't necessarily know that Jada was suffering with alopecia, because I didn't. Despite the interviews and
I
all of
didn't.
that,
Yeah.
I didn't know. Now, guess what?
Mhm.
We all know, right?
I didn't think Chris knew.
Huh?
Yeah. Not. Yeah.
See,
I
that's
don't even wonder if
speculation.
Chris. Like, I'm
See
and
that?
Big Tony.
See,
Tony,
that's
being very
speculation.
honest, we don't
That's
even
Chris
know.
Rock's job to know, though. That's his
No,
job to
Tony.
know.
Tony.
As
The
a
thing is,
professional comedian on the
honestly,
Grammys, you're not supposed to know what
no,
you're making jokes about.
Tony. The joke doesn't even reference any disease. It doesn't.
I'm not.
There's
I
nothing.
know that.
There's
Why would
nothing
he?
that
That would be.
says.
That's
There's
why would he do
nothing
that?
that says he knows. He
Right.
literally said, "I'm gonna see you in the next GI Jane." That doesn't mean he knows there's a reason why her hair is short.
Right. Okay. He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
No.
Fine.
What I'm saying to you is, like, it was such a light joke. It was such a, like, why did he get slapped for that?
But that's what I'm saying.
Because something else there's a
say
bigger
it's
thing
light.
happening.
That's not me. I'm not her. I'm not them. I don't
Tony?
know alopecia. I don't know. Y'all saying it's not life threatening does not mean that they have to take things lightly. You can't decide for other people.
That's not the point, Tony.
That
Tony,
is, because
Tony,
we're discussing the breaking point.
Tony,
We're literally discussing
if he
the
had
breaking
made a
point.
joke, if he had made a joke about her alopecia, you would have a point. He made a joke about her hairstyle. There's no way we know that he knows why her hairstyle is like that.
Okay,
she has
now-
had that hairstyle for literally her whole career. There's no way to know he knows that she has alopecia, just like none of us did.
That's getting a pass, man.
No,
I
I'm
just
not
can't
giving him a
assume
pass.
that.
I'm just saying,
Not
put
because
that
we,
in the
we
pot.
don't we don't
Put that in the
know. They're
pot.
celebrities, and y'all just said they're fam. Like, how Chris Rock not know?
No,
I don't. I'm
No,
not
no, I'm
assuming
saying to
he.
you.
Just,
No, Tony, you're missing my message up. My message is, I think he knew. I'm saying to you, I'm also considering, man, the joke was so light, maybe he didn't know. And no matter what, Will took it offensively.
Nah,
That's
yo.
all that matters. Whether
I'm
Chris
saying,
knew or not,
I
Will
believe I'm
said
giving
no more.
right. I'm
Watch
going.
the speech.
Our only. So I'm gonna finish with this. Our only disagreement is the breaking point. That's it.
I don't think we have a disagreement.
No, there's definitely a big disagreement on the breaking point, because I'm putting more weight on Chris Rock's words than you guys are, which is fine. I'm not saying y'all are wrong. I'm just explaining my position. Like, I understand that we're all speculating. Like, so
I think if Chris Rock said the intense joke, he still would have got slapped.
and so
Me too.
I
Still in
disagree. That's literally where the disagreement lies. I just want to zone in on that right there, because I know people are gonna go back and be like, and DM me stupid shit like Tony is never right to slap somebody. I know that.
Right. No. We don't have to do
Please
that, guys.
do
Don't
not
DM Tony.
message me.
He definitely knows that that's not it.
I am simply saying I don't believe Will Smith was going to slap the next person that pissed him off. I believe that it was a subject that they were just it's not for the games, because once that starts, everybody else gonna start making it, and we're not with the shits. I also believe, in my speculation, Chris knows that. Like, nigga, we done talked to you multiple times. Like, all the other
man.
shit, y'all can make because he just slapped him,
And just to be clear,
I don't think Chris. Oh, I don't know.
I'm gonna say Nina, and I'm gonna say Nina as well.
Yeah.
On the other side of this go, Will was already not right. It could have been anything. If you have ever lashed out in rage, Tony, you probably have looked back and said that wasn't even why I'm mad. It wasn't even about that.
Again, I agree. You're doubling
we're
back.
all human.
I didn't disagree with this. I did not disagree with anything you're
And that
saying.
man was at a tipping point, and somebody was going to hear it. Somebody was. And it just happened to be Chris. It ain't got nothing to do with alopecia.
That's where the disagreement is, right there.
Yeah.
Because everything else you said of reaching the boiling point, and I agree.
Because like I just said, Tony, like I just
I'm
said,
saying
when
I
you
believe
lash out,
Will was
Tony,
is
when
stronger.
you have lashed out, when you
Mhm.
have lashed out and you looked back and you looked at what you lashed out about,
Yeah.
you probably said that
It was-
wasn't even why. That wasn't even why I'm mad.
Again, agree with you 1000%. Not my argument at all. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing that you can't say that because I'm pissed off about being a black man in America, that the next person that disrespects me, I'm gonna slap them. And I just reached that point. When somebody did something that crossed the line, that, well, goddamn it, now the floodgates is open. I'm not saying that that Will is so weak that whoever said anything about him next was gonna get it. I believe, let me finish. I believe that Will Smith is stronger than that, and that Chris really struck a fucking nerve on him. And it pushed it over, and everything from the disrespect and everything, and him having the emotions of going into the Oscars of about to win his first one after all the dope ass movies, and still like, I know I'm the butt of jokes, but listen, let's keep it clean. Y'all don't be super disrespectful to Robert De Niro and them. You don't be super. You making little light jokes. That's cool. But Chris, you know my wife got a disease. You know that. We've had nigga. We boys. We both kings. You're not telling me. You're just oblivious to the fact that my wife got this. But you still made the light ass joke, and I'm not with it. That's, I believe, was his approach to everything. This is all just I'm done. Like, no. We told this dude not to, and they still doing it. I'm good. And that's what, I don't believe whoever was next to say in August Alsina joke that was a man, Will was going to slap. I'm sorry. That is the only disagreement we're having with our stance in all of this. Because I agree.
Yes. So our disagreement is
years.
We say somebody was going to get talked to. And you're saying no.
I'm saying
alopecia.
Not necessarily a slapping. I'm saying the slapping came because
anything was going to trigger him
the joke
he's there,
was,
and you're saying it was the alopecia.
I'm saying that it was the joke, alopecia joke about his wife, about a sensitive subject. That's the only disagreement. I'm gonna go watch the interview and see if that changes. See if I believe whoever was next on Will Smith's radar of saying anything that he didn't like, and you were a man, you finna get slapped today.
Well, okay, if you're gonna get technical with the slap in the mail, it was just basically whatever would draw him out of character. Like, he could have yelled at the female comedian and said, "Get my wife's name out your fucking mouth." He could have said that to her, but that still would have came off too aggressive from a man to a woman. That still would have came off too much. I think Will Smith is smart enough to know where he can place his anger. He wouldn't have did that to no Suge or no fucking big dude. He wouldn't. He knows what he can get away with. He's still smart enough to know that who he can slap and who he can't.
So
the
that's
midst of
why
all
I want
that rage, he still knows what those he still knows the consequences.
So again, I want to confirm that you guys are in the stance that for Will Smith, whoever said anything about him next as a man, he was breaking character. I'm not even going to go as far and say slap somebody and make it sound ridiculous. You're muted, Walshy. You're saying whatever guy next disrespected Will was going to catch either these words, these hands, something.
I'm saying to you, at some point, that tipping point was going to reveal itself to all of us.
So why was
whatever
it Chris?
that trigger was?
So why was it Chris?
Whatever that trigger was.
Why was it Chris last night then? Why do you guys think it was Chris
because
last night?
It just was. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. It was. Okay. It's not about alopecia. It just was Chris. It was just the moment. It was just everything compounded.
He was the easier punching bag because one, it's Chris.
He's an easy guy to slap. Let's also include that, Tony. He's an easy guy to slap. You know what I'm saying?
Who, Chris?
So
no, for sure.
Yeah, that matters though. That matters though, right? You want to slap somebody. You've been thinking to yourself, man, I'm so disrespected. I want to slap somebody. Chris is the perfect person to slap. He
So
saw a
then,
moment where he could
so
let that rage out, and he
okay,
took
so
it.
so then it wasn't whoever was next to say something disrespectful. It's
Right?
whoever
No, no,
was
no, no. What I'm
next
saying is,
that was a
what I'm saying
man
is,
that was
slapping,
slappable.
slapping was
We
Chris.
talking about
Slapping
slapping.
Chris.
Just a
But it could
slapping.
have been a yelling at anyone else. It could have been a argument with anyone. It could have been anything.
Okay,
But what
so
we're talking about is something was going to happen.
okay, yeah, I agree. Good night, Ma. Have a good night. Um, okay, I can't disagree. Like I can't disagree with that. I still
Okay,
want to
so
know.
what's a Violet
Tony,
said? Can I give you guys?
what did your mom
I
say?
want.
What does your mom say, Tony?
My
Because
mom keeps
Walshy's
saying
mom
it's
came
never
on and
right to
said, what
slap
did your mom
somebody.
say?
Ma, I know it's not
Yeah.
right to slap somebody, mother. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, real
Don't
quick, guys,
worry,
real
I'm
quick.
not gonna
I
go out
Violet.
slapping people.
Listen, I Violet just said something,
Do y'all think Will
and
was
I
drunk?
didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
Now
I
he's
didn't want to
now
say
he's
it.
oh man.
But I'm just going to throw this in there because I think that this is a bad thing to say. But we're going to close the show soon.
Yeah.
But I have proof, and I have heard, but I have the proof that Will Smith actually was drunk as well
Damn.
before the slap.
So all that built up and he
So
drunk
I just want to say, man,
and
whatever,
no, not the alopecia
whatever
joke. It was just Chris. Whoever was next.
whatever the triggers are, they all met at the same road right at that moment, man.
And
it's not about alopecia.
Yo, Walshy, that's literally what I'm saying. I'm saying alopecia is part of the pot. And y'all are saying no.
Right. But
It's
you're
whoever
saying
added
alopecia
that
is
last
the
piece
reason.
of salt. No, what?
You're saying alopecia is the
That
reason.
drunk
I'm
piece
saying
sounds
it's
like a dark cop
Chat.
it
out,
could have
though.
been
Chat.
drunk-
Am
that
I
drunk
saying that
explanation sounds like
alopecia is the
a cop out.
reason? Someone in the chat, please let me know if I'm saying that alopecia is the reason that Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. Because I don't know how many. I can't explain that anymore. That's not what I'm saying.
Then why else did he slap? Then why else are you saying he slapped him? Then?
Yeah, what
Because
else are you
That's-
saying? Tony, are
I'm
you even
getting
hearing
that.
your own
All
argument?
right, nah.
Tony,
Okay.
your whole
Nah,
argument
I'm
has
done.
been
No.
this was what he said
Okay.
that was too much. And
All
we're
right.
saying to you, it could have been anything.
Okay.
It could have been anything.
Yeah,
All
now,
right.
now you're backpedaling.
That's really
And
crazy,
then
and I
we're-
can't wait to go and grab
then we're
these
saying
clips.
to you,
It's
he showed
beautiful.
us after that it wasn't about alopecia.
I love it.
It could have been anything.
Smooth. I will no longer argue with anything for this show. I'm gonna prepare
Yeah,
what I've said.
like
and,
the count said,
yeah.
said, alopecia was the light to the fuse, and anything could have been the light to the fuse. Anything could have been.
Literally, that's the only. Oh, never mind. I'm not. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do it, man. Don't do it. You talked about alopecia way too long to come back here and act like you wasn't talking about alopecia.
Nah, that's crazy. I love it. I got the
We
clips.
agree that that alopecia joke was the light to the fuse, but the difference is you're saying that it was because it was the alopecia reference.
Right.
That is why, like, that could have been
Right.
the only thing to trigger him to do that.
Right. Never once did I say
Right.
that. I will give
Yes, you
guys
did, man. And
I'll
not only
give you.
that, you
I'll give you guys the
tripled down on
footage. I will. Let's put money. Literally, I will put the last
On
sense
what?
I
You
have
said the
that I have
intent
never
wasn't
said that
triggering-
he slapped him because of alopecia. So I
yes,
love it.
man.
No,
You've made it
that just
clear
means you
that
guys
alopecia
weren't.
was
I was
worse.
misspeaking.
Was worse than anything else he said.
No,
and
I
that
said alopecia
was
is
the
a
trigger.
no. I said alopecia could be a worse trigger for Will. We don't know. I said we don't know. We cannot decide if August or alopecia is worse for Will Smith. But you guys are gonna tell me yes, we can. That August is worse than the alopecia joke. That's and I know what I'm saying ain't crazy. Like, I just love, people have difficulty hearing, the full thing when
Man,
you're not.
I want you to watch this back, Tony.
Oh, I am. I do this
This
all
whole
the time.
time we were talking,
I
Tony,
literally
you
did.
could've watched the acceptance
The great thing
speech.
about this
You
is this is
could've
what I do all the time with my friends.
Yeah,
and
we
I
could've
always
watched-
have
we
the
could've watched
receipts
that
to
speech.
back up
watched
what I
the
said.
speech this whole time.
I love it.
Tony, did you have mimosas?
Nah, y'all are gonna make the jokes as funny, but when I make the clips of what I'm saying and what you guys said, and who really
Here's the thing,
backpedaled.
guys.
It's
Here's
gonna
the
be
thing,
really
guys. Is
funny.
Tony's the only one that can make these clips?
No,
So there's no one else that can
I
make
also
other
just a
clips
minute ago said I
that'll
will
show
send
Tony
you
being
guys the
like,
footage.
alopecia.
I'll send you guys the footage. I already said I'll post the footage publicly. How about that? Because I know what I said. And I know what I said. It's really crazy. So yes, Tony said that alopecia is why Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. That's what I said. Y'all know that's not true, but it's cool.
Guys, we gotta finish.
Y'all know that's not what I said, but it's cool. Yo, like I said, I'm gonna go watch the interview. We can pick this up. Wow, this is a record-breaking show. It is
Record-breaking show, man. This one is 3 hours.
PM. My goodness, we have been at this for a while. By the way, everyone, this is what conversation is about. Being able to to discuss things, verbalize, not slap people. At no point in this conversation did anyone feel like slapping somebody else. But just in case, just know the form I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching the Will video because my man had the form. He had the follow through. He came from down low.
That was his moment.
He came from down low.
That was his moment.
He came from down low. He said, I'm going to smack this disrespect out of the world on Chris Rock's face. You know what I mean?
Basically, that's what he did.
That's what he said. This is the weight of all the disrespect. Walked away feeling good. You seen his face. He was smirking too. He walked away like, woo, that felt good to slap somebody on the stage at the Oscars. And then
that was his punching bag.
But it was whoever was next, right? Like it didn't have to be Chris.
Whoever
it was
he
whatever
knows he could have got away with.
So so whoever he could have got away with slapping next,
or cursing out,
something.
To express his anger. He was ready for it.
Smooth. Okay.
He was ready.
Here we go. And that's not speculation.
What's not speculation?
Saying that whoever was next would have gotten a strong reaction out of Will Smith.
Yes.
You're saying that's not speculation. This is facts.
At all. That is not speculation because he even said it in his speech. He said in his speech.
Okay.
He was prepared for this moment. Prepared.
What, to slap Chris or to win the Oscar? I'm going to watch it. I'm going to go watch it. So you're saying that you're saying that in the
entangled with his anger and slapping, another entanglement.
Right, but what you're saying is in the acceptance speech, he identifies that basically whoever disrespected next was finna catch it. Not necessarily hands, but whoever said anything, it was over. That's what he identified in his acceptance speech.
When
Miss
someone
Royal
says,
saying yes.
I gotta protect my family. I gotta protect this. I gotta protect what's mine. That's insinuating you gotta do something because you haven't done anything in the past. Now is your time to stand up and do something about it.
All right,
and that was his moment.
I'm gonna go watch it. And God on it, I'm gonna go and watch it and see what's up.
All right.
And then we're gonna revisit.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, thanks for coming on. Sorry for anyone else that was in the waiting queue. Things got a little carried away, but we're gonna discuss more next week. In the meantime, we up out of here, y'all. Deuces. Till next time, love everybody. You know what I mean? Peace, love. Don't worry, I'm not going out slapping nobody. I identify that slapping people is wrong. The Heat Hunters and Tony Blackout, we say no to violence and no to slapping. We are not a pro slapping community. That's
turn the
right. Just take the slapping and
L. Just take the L.
Yeah, just take the L and go home. There it is. All right, y'all. We up out of here. Deuces.